during the 25-26 season, which starts in early September. If you think this isn't really sports news, well, Grand Slam tennis champ Iga Swiatek disagrees with you. She hit it in her post-match press conference.
My team showed me on Instagram. Well, I'm just happy for her because she deserves the best. And obviously, what? What's the laugh? She does.
I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily, produced by Poppy Penny. Thanks to the Daily Oz for the extra audio used in this episode. This has been ABC Sport Daily, and for more, you can find us on the ABC Listen app.
ABC iView. Lose yourself in gripping entertainment.
Somebody here.
Like with The Family Next Door.
Know something.
Darby and Joan.
I'm going to find out who did this to you.
And Bay of Fires.
What the...
Always free, always gripping. ABC iView.
On ABC Sport. You're listening to the 2025 AFL Premiership season.
AFL.
Don't get better than this.
On your radio.
Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
It's a night that draws interest beyond the two teams competing. How are you feeling, Doggies fans? Is there a miracle at Carrara tonight? Can Essendon break its 12-game losing streak and somehow see the men from the West play in September? Or will the Gold Coast Suns in their 15th season finally play in the finals? Welcome to the 207th and last home and away game of 2025. My name is Quentin Hull. This is Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. I'm getting PTSD back to COVID days. Carrara in the middle of the week. That's what it feels like. The rescheduled opening round fixture, it was due to be game 3 of the season. It's now the last game of the season. The Suns have had 2 shots to try and lock away their spot in September and have blown them so far. Here against the Giants, going down by 35 points, and then only back on Friday night, the emotion of Ken Hinkley and Travis Boak's farewell, and the Power winning by 4 points. While we know the story of the Bombers without a win since the Dreamtime game, a host of players on the injured list, but it's not go Dogs, it's go Dons for those that saw the Western Bulldogs miss their chance of getting into the finals by losing to Fremantle on Sunday. Quentin Hull and Michael Price to call the action. Matt Primus and Jeff White are your experts. Zane Bojak's down on the boundary. And very shortly, we're going to be joined by the General Manager of Football from the Gold Coast Suns, Wayne Campbell, to speak through what's been a hectic couple of days. Pricey, how are you? I am getting flashbacks.
I'm getting COVID flashbacks, absolutely. I think there'll be a bigger crowd here, though, Q. Once again, just privileged to be in the best seat in the house. And, look, I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think. What have Essendon got to lose? They're going to throw everything at the Suns. Let's see how the Suns can cope with let's face it, there's a fair bit of pressure on them.
How are you, Jeff White? It's good to see you on a Wednesday night at Carrara. What's the buzz around town? Because I can sense a few nerves here at Carrara tonight.
Yeah, and our next guest will talk about that. But, yeah, expecting 17,000 tonight, which would be really good. Talk around is really upbeat. I was at a local footy club last night. Everyone's asking, are you going to the game? Are you going to the game? Even my boys came back from school today saying that so many kids are going to the game tonight, which is great because it's a school night. So hopefully Gold Coast can, the fans and everyone can come out and really support them tonight and get behind them as they strive for their first finals.
It's the non-negotiable of all non-negotiables, isn't it? You've got a home game against a team that's got 16 players on the official injury list.
Yeah, look, they had their opportunity, but the Giants played really, really well in that game a couple of weeks ago. And then they had the opportunity last week going against a side that was sort of on one leg in a sense with the plays that they had in. So yeah, no excuses tonight for the Suns. And look, they've prepared well. They've played well all year. They deserve to be in the finals. And yeah, hopefully they can they do it tonight and play their brand of footy that we know that they're accustomed to, and what they've played this year. And great addition with Rioli back in, because that slingshot footy off the half-back line has been their one word this year.
Yeah, if you missed it, Rioli, Humphrey and Rogers coming into the Suns team. There are no late changes. Rogers is the sub. Sexton, Adams and Goulburn out of the team for Gold Coast, while the Bombers get a couple of decent players back in. Jaden Laverde and Sam Durham returning to the team, with Zach Johnson dropped and Jade Gresham missing due to personal reasons. Reece Unwin is the sub for the Dons. The conditions are gorgeous. Wayne Campbell, great to have you on board, General Manager of footy at the Gold Coast Suns. Can you believe it's match day again so quickly?
You get your head around it pretty quickly. Well, thanks for having me too, Quentin. We've had some 5-day breaks up in Darwin when we've been up there, so that's sort of, we've ran that program and sort of got the players to believe that we can, get ourselves up in 5 days, which players just can now. They're so fit, they're so mentally strong. Sometimes, like the Giants game a couple of weeks ago, you can have one of those flat patches. Over 23 games, you can have a couple of those, and we felt that game. The Giants were terrific, but we felt we're a little bit off. So, no, we've come well prepared. I think, as Jeff said, we feel like we deserve to play finals. But unfortunately, life and footy is not fair. So you've got to go out there and put the scoreboard pressure on, and we think we're ready to do that.
I think the question that the fans would love to sort of get a look inside the four walls is, how's the morale after you've had 2 chances to lock this away, but you've got to do it now, and with a bit of fatigue, having had to play, 2 games in 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, the morale straight after the Giants game, the morale straight after the Port game, not great. That's footy. You've got to live that 24, 48 hours. After the Port game, that 48 hours became 24 because we knew we had to move on really quickly. So that was a Friday night. We were back on the Gold Coast Saturday, and then we trained on Sunday, knowing that we had this Wednesday game. So by the time we got to, being footballs, we need a cathartic run to sort of get it out, but also have the game review. And Damien's just brilliant at getting groups up. And we've just had a team meeting now where they're laughing and hollering and carrying on. So we feel like the spirit's there.
So what's the theme of it downstairs? I mean, we can see what is at stake, but how's it sold?
Play our way. We do deserve to be there, and that if we play freely, we've looked a bit tight the last couple of weeks. As I said a couple of weeks ago against Giants, I think we had an excuse there, but we just played tight last weekend against Port. 40,000 people, Ken and Travis having their farewell. So, but still had opportunities to win as well, and we should have won. Given where we are on the ladder and where they were, but they played some pretty good footy too. So it's just go and play free, play with a free mind, and try not to think about the outcome as much as you do. Your head does go there. You allow your head to go there, but then come back to what do I need to do in the next moment.
So I'm wondering whether the coaching group and the players have spoken anything about the manipulation of the scenario other than win or loss. So can you give us, this is the thing for footy fans, we're all trying to work out, okay, well, if Gold Coast win, what's the threshold for them to go to Sydney or the threshold to go to Perth? So how do you...
It's funny, like friends and family have sort of asked, and I think my answer has been I don't know which one we would prefer. But inside the 4 walls, I don't think I've heard it mentioned. I mean, certainly not a match committee or anything like that, but sometimes we sit on the couches and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever, but it hasn't even been raised then. There's a bit of travel stuff. We go on Friday to Perth, and how are we doing all that? And if it's in Sydney, what's that? But in terms of manipulation, this game, the footy gods have got a way of having their way with you. So we need to get the 4 points. And then I'd love to win by 100 points, and I'd love to win by 15 points. If you can guarantee me either of those two, I'll take both of them. Right.
Wayne Campbell from the Gold Coast Suns, the footy manager, with us on ABC Sport.
Just on Rioli, for our listeners, just his rehab, how he's gone. He is so important to you guys, and I know that's why you brought him on. He just the setup with him and Noble on the half-back line has been. But how's his preparation been? How fired up is he? How's his training been?
Yeah, really good. He broke a bone in his leg, which doesn't sound great, which could be 4 months or it could be 4 weeks or 5 weeks, which is what it luckily ended up being. I think when he came off and had the operation, I think we were in Adelaide on the Sunday, had the operation on the Monday or Tuesday, we had this game penciled in. So we knew it was sort of a 4-week injury. We knew the Port game was going to be 5 days short. So he's probably trained fully for 2 weeks. He might run out of puff a little bit, but he's a natural runner. But yeah, it's nice to see the magnet back on that board, I can tell you.
Now, just beyond tonight, I'm just wondering, another wonderfully successful season for a group of your players who have been recognised in the All-Australian squad, and the awards are tomorrow night. Will you be going with the entire group to that function, considering that you have had a compromised draw and a lot of flights and a couple of games?
Yeah, no, we'll be
short turnaround.
Yeah, I think it's.
Would you like to have the option not to go?
No, I don't think so. No, if we got some players in, we would want them to go. We've got 9 days. So tomorrow, Thursday, we'll play. If we win, obviously, we'll play on Saturday. So we've got 9 days. So, no, I think if there's some players out of that 5 that get selected, I'd want them to go and experience the night. If it was 6-day break or something like that, I wouldn't think so. But, they'll be back. They'll go down Thursday. We've got 2 days off. We've got Thursday, Friday off. Back on the Gold Coast Friday. So I think we're...
It's a great recognition, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 5 in the squad, first time ever record for the Suns.
So it's Anderson, Rowell, Long, Collins and King. But the reason I asked that question, Wayne, I mean, already tonight is a manner of compromise. If you end up landing, having to go to Perth, it's the longest flight in the AFL from the Gold Coast or Brisbane to Perth. It would be 5 flights, 2 games, 10 days, with then your first final after.
Yeah, as I said, I think we sort of just plan for it and get it in our mind. When I first saw we were going to play Wednesday and then let's say a Saturday, forget the All-Australian for a moment, I actually don't mind that. It feels like that's about the right time to have off after your last game. 14 days, having been at the Giants where we did that a couple of times, it can be a bit too long, I reckon. So, so the 9 days is fine. Understand your point on the flights, but we'll have what comes our way.
It's interesting. As a player, Jeff, how would you handle it if you were nominated to be an All-Australian for the first time, yet you're playing finals for the first time and you think...
It's a bit different when you're in Melbourne because you just basically get in your car and drive there without flying. It's a wonderful recognition and, really, really pumped for those, for the Suns breaking that record and having 5 in that squad. But I'm with Wayne. And I think it brings up a really interesting point there. There's 14 days, barring the Suns win tonight. They've only got 9 days that you recover? The others are 14 days. Sometimes, there could be moments tonight where the Suns actually get on a right and they go, oh, hang on, we've flicked the switch here. And then all of a sudden you're sort of in that momentum. Whereas sides that have had that little bit of extra, they played last weekend or wherever it was, sometimes it's hard to get that momentum back. So I like what Wayne was saying just then.
And we know the stats, 15 years, September beckons. Can you just give us a sense of what it would mean for the football club if you finally break through that glass ceiling tonight?
Yeah, well, a lot of hard work over a long, long period of time, going back, 14, 15 years. And as we sit here, we see the demountables where the club was set up. And I think...
very different to your time at the Giants, obviously, who had success a lot earlier.
I think they got their facilities right and a few other things right. But certainly the last couple of years, I go back sort of 4 or 5 years with, when Ben and Noah and Took re-signed and Witsy re-signed. That's going back 5, 6, 7 years. So that was the marker in the ground to say no, we're a serious footy club. And then obviously Damien came on board and he's done some amazing things in a year and a half or 2 years nearly fully. But yes, we need to get the job done tonight to make this year a success.
And just one to finish with: have you got an experience as a player or as a club where you're waiting on the last game to work out whether you play finals or not?
A couple. I reckon I was sitting up in the Richmond Social Club and I reckon Melbourne. I can't remember what year it was. 98,
98, yeah. Because Nita and I ran into Richo the next morning. I'm like, oh, sorry, mate.
I reckon you smacked us one year as well. 98, I reckon we played you.
Yeah, was that the G?
Jeff Farmer sat on...
that's the one.
Sat on Scotty Turner's head. But I reckon there was one where we had to play and then the next day we were waiting and it didn't go our way. We finished 9th, as the Tigers tended to do back then. So.
Thanks for your time,
Cheers,
Wayne.
boys.
Good luck
Great
tonight.
night. Cheers.
Wayne Campbell, who is the General Manager of Football at the Gold Coast Suns. If you have just joined us, conditions are perfect. There's not going to be a big crowd, such as the nature of a school night here, even though it's one of the biggest nights in the competition for the club. This place continues to sort of just, in a sense, look opposite in its reflection. A big night, and we're going to have one of the smallest crowds of the year because this is the transferred game from opening round. No late changes. The sub for the Gold Coast Suns is Jake Rogers and the sub for Essendon is Reece Unwin. We've got a few stations joining in a minute and a half or so. Chance to say good day to Matt Primus, though, who has sidled on in, and he was in Adelaide and saw the game back on Friday night. Matty, welcome.
Thank you.
What went wrong for the Suns back on Friday?
Sometimes we can overcomplicate the game. The game was pretty simple. Port just wanted it more, and their harassment, their effort, their intensity for 4 quarters was amazing for anyone who watched it. And the Suns couldn't match that over 4 quarters. They did it for bits and pieces, but they got exposed and got taught a lesson. So I'm sure they've learned out of that, and you would think they would come out here breathing fire in the first 15 or 20 and try and put Essendon to the sword. But a lesson learned, but there's not too many lessons left to be learnt. This is the last one, so I'm sure they'll get it right tonight.
And it's interesting that, I know you've got time, but Wayne Campbell saying there that we've got to play their brand of footy, because last week they just bombed it.
Yeah, certainly they
won it back and they just kicked it away.
Didn't seem to have the run, and which is why we see Rioli as such an important inclusion tonight. Throughout the evening, we'd love to hear from you. The final night of the home and away season, you can get in touch on the SMS line. The number is 0437 774 774. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0437 774 774.
Hi, I'm Corbin Middlemass.
And I'm Ed Cowan.
He played Test cricket for Australia.
And Ed Cowan gets his first Test match century.
And he commentates the cricket.
Stark tries again. He runs in straight through him. Together, we're giving you your weekly cricket conversation.
We're pulling apart the biggest stories in the sport and delivering them to you each and every week.
It's called the Grandstand Cricket Podcast. Find it on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sport.
We begin this broadcast by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which this match will be played today and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening.
It's all on the line. Here we go.
And the moment of truth has arrived.
What a matchup this is. What a game.
The umpire holds the footy up.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on earth.
On ABC Sport, this is the AFL.
Oh, there's a bit to get excited about.
The intensity and the pressure around the ball is unbelievable.
Take your moment. This is that moment of the game of footy.
This is just football at its best.
And that'll be it. From walking on thin ice to dancing on the mountaintop, the Brisbane Lions never stopped believing. And they are the champions.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. Don't get better than this.
He curled the through for a magnificent goal.
Comes out, gathers, snaps, goal.
An extra bit of class.
He smashed that through. What a kick. Goes bang with everything he's got.
They are leaving nothing out there.
Listen to the roar.
The drop punt. He's gone. And the building is jumping.
We know he's a big shot taker. He's a big shot maker.
Leans back on the kick. Game on.
That camera action, baby. Countdown to contact.
From the right, forward, on it. Oh, he's a sharpshooter, all right.
Step up in the big moment.
Close to the man on the mark. Drop punt. He's there. Gathers, snaps. He'll bring the house down.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. Don't get better than this.
He'll put it on the boot. Kick up towards the logo.
You take a seat, cause it don't get better than
He
this.
defies the laws of gravity.
He runs onto it 50 from goal. He's in Dusty's pocket. He shoots. Oh, he's as bloody good as Dusty. Oh, yeah.
Rowe snaps goal. The drop punt. It's good. And you can hear that body roar.
Forks one way and the next and the snap. There's the finish.
60 out. Oh, my goodness. That's a massive hit. Big time spot. Big time goal kicker.
That's why we love football.
Brilliant to watch.
From the centre wicket. Whacks it for 6. Scores level. Running pass. Throws it on the leg. Could that be the sealer? Seconds ticking down. We're not done yet. What a finish.
Welcome to the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport. On radio, on digital, and on the ABC Listen app.
You take a seat, cause it don't get better than this.
For those in red, blue and white who have spent the year saying go Dogs, tonight they say go Dons. Can Essendon produce an upset for the ages to see the Western Bulldogs play finals, or will Gold Coast do as expected and secure a spot in September for the first time? Well, they're 2 strikes down. Strike 1 was here against Greater Western Sydney on a sunny Saturday afternoon a couple of weeks ago, beaten by 35 points. Strike 2, the emotion of the silver teal, black and white at the Adelaide Oval on Friday night. The power too good in the farewell game for Kenny and Trav. 4 points the winning margin there, and quite the response from Damien Hardwick as to the nature of the officiating. So they are literally 2 strikes down, but if they can whack this out of the park tonight, they will achieve a club first starting in 2011. This is season 15, and the Suns need only beat the depleted Bombers, a Bombers team that hasn't won since the Dreamtime game all the way back in round 11. It seems a fait accompli, but if you're a Dogs fan, you're hoping against hope. If you're a Giants or a Hawks or a Dockers fan, you're waiting to see what happens here as well, because there's also the size of a prospective Gold Coast victory, which will change all of those elimination finals, just who's going to play who. That will all be decided. My name's Quentin Hull. You're with ABC Sport Wednesday Night Footy. Wednesday Night Footy on ABC Sport. This game, which was scheduled as the 3rd game of the season, is now the 207th and final domino to fall, and it will have ramifications indeed for all of those clubs just mentioned. The conditions are perfect. There are no late changes. Gold Coast bringing Daniel Rioli back into the team, having injured his leg in his 200th game when he played against the Crows at the Adelaide Oval back in round 19. So he's missed 5 games, but he's back in. Bailey Humphries missed 2 games as well with a knee injury. Jake Rogers returns to the team as well. And Rogers is the sub tonight for the Suns, who have left out 2-time leading goal kicker Alex Sexton, mid-season draft pickup Oscar Adams, and Lachlan Golban, the youngster. While for the Bombers, as mentioned, 16 on the official injured list. But they get Jaden Laverty and Sam Durham back tonight. Zach Johnson dropped, Jade Gresham missing due to personal reasons. And the Bombers, well, they come here trying to play for pride and pride alone, and perhaps to get, a shout at the bar from all Western Bulldogs fans. They were beaten by the Blues by 34 points back on Thursday night, and they've got the quick turnaround as well. Here come the Bombers. Michael Price is alongside me. It does, as I mentioned earlier, take me back to 2020 and the COVID season, midweek at Carrara. We're only going to get about 16,000 fans, which is more than we got during that period. But it's weird what a big night it is for Gold Coast, but because of the nature of when it's placed, it's going to be one of their smaller home crowds of the season.
Yeah, it is a shame, Q, and it's got a touch of that COVID era about it. But look, I think the fans that we do get here tonight are going to witness a team that's really going to put the pedal down. I expect Essendon to bring as much as possible, but I just hope that if the Suns get too far in front, that they don't put the queue in the rack and they're halfway to the end of season trip. That's the only thing, but I'm hoping for a close one.
Are you ready for your brain to be bent with the live ladder and all that type of stuff?
Oh, yes, let's go with that. Let's go with that. All of the permutations,
it's about 5 goals.
Try to guess, yeah.
So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible from the outset. We'll no doubt have the apps and everything running. So if Gold Coast win by near enough to 5 goals, they'll jump to 7th and then play Freo.
Right.
If they win by less than 5 goals, they will be 8th and play Greater Western Sydney. If they lose, well, the Western Bulldogs will play finals. Simple enough for you, Jeff White. Welcome.
Q, yeah. I actually like the live ladder, watching that all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It was very, very interesting. Loved it. Yeah, look, I don't know. I've had these feelings before. I think Suns will win, but yeah, I like what you said in the opening there. But thing is with the Dons, they've got obviously nothing to lose. They throw everything, and they're sometimes a danger side. And you got to look at what Port Adelaide put out in the park last week. The Suns didn't play their brand of footy, and I know that the Ken Hinkleys and the Travis Boak, it was such an emotional night for them, but they didn't play their brand of footy. If they get stuck not playing their brand of footy tonight, and Essendon's within 2 or 3 goals, interesting. They could nervous. The Suns could get nervous, Q. And we've been here so many times. How long has it been? 12, 13 years?
Well, that's why tonight is such a big game for the Suns.
It is.
Because they have fluffed their lines on so many other occasions.
They need to own it, don't they? They need to own it. They need to play their roles. Each of those players that wear that Suns jersey tonight and play their brand of footy. They play their style of footy. They will win by more than 5 goals.
That's what they didn't do last week, Whitey.
Correct. This is what I'm saying. They got stuck. So, and they come up against a really good outfit in Giants a couple of weeks ago and on their own, here, and the Giants played outstanding footy. But last week when they had the opportunity, they just didn't play it, and So hopefully they don't get stuck. If they get stuck tonight, Q,
it could be more fun than some of the roller coasters
a live ladder
up the way here. We're playing two rucks tonight. Jeff White joined by Matthew Primus. Matt, you're so often a voice of football sense and clarity. Am I putting too much mayonnaise on this? Is this the most one-sided matchup of the year?
I think it is. Yeah, but I base that on hearing Dimmer on his presser afterwards last week. I shouldn't have to raise my voice with this group leading into the game. They should know what was coming. But sometimes as a coach, you have to really lay it on them. And there's not yelling and screaming. But, nowadays it's all laughter and joking, and that's what they all do. But you've got to pick up on, hey, maybe we're a bit too relaxed. And I think he would have realised they missed that opportunity, and it was too late once the game went, where I thought this week there'd be a real steely resolve about what they want to do. And if they're fair dinkum, it should be 10 goals. They should be winning by. If they're fair dinkum, and I reckon Dimmer would have wound them up throughout the week, not the ranting and raving, but saying, hey, we've got to get back to playing this style of footy very, very quickly.
And just looking at a couple of the examples of recent seasons where we get down to right at the end of the last home and away round. So back in 2022, the Blues beaten by Collingwood by a point, missed the finals by 0.6%. The Bulldogs finishing 8th on that occasion. And then 2017, Melbourne going down to Collingwood by 16 points and missed by 0.05% when West Coast knew what it had to do against Adelaide and won by 29 points in the last game to just get past the D's into the 8 by 0.05%. And then I must admit, this part of the world, you always remember back to the Brisbane Bears' first ever finals series. On Friday night, they beat the D's by 21 points. The D's were level with them on the ladder, and then it was up to Collingwood to win against Sydney at the SCG. What did the Swans do? The Swans beat the Magpies. So the Bears went from 10th into the finals, in that last weekend back in 1995. Zane Bojak's down on the boundary tonight. It's got a weird feel about it for a number of reasons. Zano, welcome to you for the final home and away game of the season.
Yeah, it certainly is exciting, Q. And look, as I took my seat on the boundary here, I actually had a Suns member grab my bomber jacket and say, look, this is the most important game the club has ever played. We're going to turn it on tonight. And I said, well, I hope so, because I turned around and looked at Brad Scott as the Bombers were warming up, and I can tell you what, he looked pretty happy, and so do the rest of the Bombers. They're here to have a bit of fun. When you're the underdog, Q, and you don't have the pressure, that's a very, very good thing to be able to play football with and just go out and express yourself. So, big game for the Suns tonight. They're looking to end their 2-game losing streak. As for Essendon, well, they've lost 12 in a row. Imagine how good they feel going into their Mad Thursday if they got a win here tonight. 21 degrees. The surface is a little bit dewy, Q. It's been very hot today, upwards of 27, and I expect it's going to be a good surface, though. I'm looking forward to the contest. A game the Gold Coast just has to win, and for this crowd, I hope they do it.
Zane Bojack down on the boundary. You're welcome to join us on the SMS tonight. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0437 774 774. 0437 774 774. Now, just before we knuckle down into this game, a very newsy part of the footy season, off the back of Jack Silvani this time yesterday saying that he's exploring options beyond Carlton. Tom de Koning confirming that he's leaving as well. We're seeing players being left off lists, where we're seeing coaching restructures. And the big news today that Mitch Brown has come out as the first openly bisexual AFL player, and the West Coast Eagles have just released a statement regarding that, which certainly, due to the nature of the story, it's worth just bringing that to you. The Eagles, and I quote, "The West Coast Eagles proudly support former player Mitch Brown following his courageous decision to publicly share his story today. Mitch was a valued member of our club from 2007 to 2016, playing 94 games with distinction. His decision to speak openly about his identity demonstrates the same courage and integrity he showed throughout his playing career. We are moved by Mitch's bravery in speaking his truth. His honesty about his experiences reminds us that we all have work to do in creating truly inclusive and welcoming spaces within our game across the country. His voice will undoubtedly provide comfort, representation and hope to many across our community. The West Coast Eagles remain committed to fostering an inclusive environment where every person, past, present and future, feels valued and supported to be their authentic self. Thanks, Mitch. We are incredibly proud to call you one of our own. End quote. So, off the back of the absolute storm around Isaac Rankin as well, homophobia in the game is such a huge talking point at the moment. Interesting to see that that has come out today, and that's the official response from the West Coast Eagles, which has been posted in the recent moments. So let's get to the football, gentlemen. Usually I do a list of players that are missing. I didn't worry for Essendon. I just counted them. And 16 officially. 16 on the injured list. And as I was doing some chats in the lead into the game, it's almost like the old Suns, because you've got a group of experienced players and then a bunch of kids.
Yep.
You know, you've got the impressive Kako, Roberts, all teenagers. Angus Clark, Unwin's the sub, but you also got Nguyen, who's a teenager as well. Yet led by guys like Zach Merritt and Andy McGrath as well.
The injury that they've had, 44 players out of 46 they've used. 44 players. You're cutting that deep into your list and playing all that. Hence why they haven't won since the Dreamtime game, did you say, Q? So
yeah, two of their mid-season pickups this year and one of their mid-seasons from last year is playing.
Amazing,
as well.
That's incredibly hard to be competitive, let alone try and win games when that's happening to your list.
But they've got 3 rising star noms out there. Nate Caddy was the 4th of them for the year, but he's not playing. So
that can happen sometimes when you're playing so many young ones, doesn't it?
And what was it, 15 debutants here as well? Yeah, extraordinary.
Crazy.
So let's do Brad Scott for a moment. You know that they're human. You know that they've lost 12 in a row, and as soon as the siren sounds tonight, that season done.
Yep.
Matt, give us one of your inspiring speeches as coach. How do the Dons go out there tonight and acquit themselves with dignity?
They would, like they probably have the last month, to be trying to break down small wins. You know, to be, let's say the Gold Coast Suns are the best centre bounce team in the competition. We say, hey, let's see if we can break even there, and let's see if we can get the same amount of inside 50s. We'll be trying to break down little bits of the game, because the game is an entirety for Essendon to look at. They go, wow, how do we beat this team that's done this and this and this? So they'd be in their areas, and also as a team, as a collective, have 3 or 4 key KPIs, and coming to them at quarter time, half time, 3/4 time, and trying to judge them on that and keep them focused in that and try and take their eyes away from the scoreboard.
On a night where Western Bulldogs fans are on a knife's edge, I'm just wondering if you're a Doggies fan, you'd be looking on and seeing the replay of last week and think, gee, I hope the Suns, keep kicking to a contest like they did last week, Jeff.
Yeah, if they win the ball back and then give it back, then, Essendon might be a chance. It's quite a strange, it must be a weird feeling for them at the moment. In the past, you've seen where sides, it comes down to the last game and they're all together. You've seen those footage before.
Yep.
Then I heard last night that there's only they're going to watch it from the home or wherever they are. It's not, obviously not going to get together, the Western Bulldogs. But yeah, look, I watched quite closely Essendon's game last week, and they played with some flair. They played on really quick, and that's what they'll do tonight. I reckon they'll get a lot of run from behind. They'll play on really quick. That's where the Suns have to be onto it. They have to make sure that if they can get those turnovers between the arc, because Essendon's going to play on all the time, they'll win the game. They'll score heavily.
Brett from Canberra texts, danger game for the Suns, but I think they'll get it home tonight. Good on you, Brett. 0437 774 774. John from West Footscray, do you think that the winner will make the finals? Yeah, well, that's a good point, because if Essendon win, they won't make the finals. Of course, if the Suns win, it's hard. It's almost fitting that we've got yet another weird feeling about the Suns trying to do something special. Nothing's been linear with the progression of this club.
Up, down, up, down.
I mean, this should have been absolutely packed. Bombers fans here, 24,000.
Yep.
Let's welcome the season. Everyone's fresh and fit and ready to go. And here we are with the last game. And the AFL probably a little red-faced, hoping that it wouldn't mean anything, but it means so much.
Well, in the scheduling, they should have looked at the fact that Gold Coast has a public holiday on Friday. They could have scheduled it tomorrow Thursday night.
Gold Coast show.
Yeah, but
they probably didn't. Obviously, might not have looked at that, but
nothing gets in the way of the All-Australian Awards, Jeff, which
then they put it on a Friday night.
No.
Then the Legends game was on Saturday night. But yes, I just think I don't know. I just like what you said was a but. I think they can win. But the interesting part about what you just said is that they've won 14 games this year as a record. Think about, it's like, Matty, win 14 games, you're playing finals.
Yep.
You win 12, you're playing finals.
Yep.
So nothing's come easy for the Suns. So this is it. It is right now. They've had 2 cracks at it. They've missed both times. Okay, now you get opportunity.
It's visually good. I love when we see the traditional strips. Bombers, black with the sash, white numbers, black shorts. Suns in their new strip red. It would be interesting the first year of the rebrand if indeed that this is the playing strip that gets to make September for the first time. Dogs fans, we're feeling you. Dockers, Hawks, Giants fans, we all know you're listening in as well. We will finally have the finals picture complete at the end of tonight's game of football, and Michael Price kicks us off on Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport.
And it's a nice bounce to start proceedings. Goldstein versus Witts. Witts gets it down immediately to Noah Anderson. Does a U-turn, goes straight down the middle, kicks it inside 50. Bang wrong. Immediately not paid. It is dropped around his feet. Nicely spoiled in the end, umpire says. And so there'll be a ball up 30 metres out directly in front of the Gold Coast Suns goal.
Redmond with the spoil on one of those 5 Suns in the All-Australian squad. Ball tapped to the boundary. Anderson tries to kick it out of the air, missed it. Picked up by Merritt of the Bombers. Kicks to half-back, no one there. And Fiorini wins the race, takes a chest mark, 50 out. Kick to Miller's not 15. Miller called to play on, kicks it to the hot spot. And a wonderful intercepting mark taken by Roberts across the front of the pack. That was Durham, my apologies. Durham with the mark in a big pack, just forward of full back.
Looked like his pre-season mark, that one.
Whew. That was a ripper. He just flared it right now to Laverty. Goes back inside to the goal square. And that's Roberts in the goal square. He's got nowhere to go. The Suns have set up very nicely in front of him. He comes out to half-back. Spoiled away. Rowell gathered at front of the pack. Handball over to Fiorini. He's tackled by Durham, who's had a bright start to the game. Lets loose the ball now to Miller. Miller to Noble. Shrugs the tackle. Handball backwards to Rowell. He pops it into the left forward pocket. This time it's taken. It's with Farah. And he takes it around about 20 metres out, but he's on a very, very tight angle in the left forward pocket. He's facing back inboard.
Really interesting to note that when they played the Giants, they went a zone, the Suns. They've gone one-on-one behind the ball. So get their starting positions all set up really, really fast.
So the well-travelled Jai Farah curls it around with the right foot, and he's hit it a little bit too fat. It goes across the face and one behind, barely. So first score on the board to the Suns, one behind. The Bombers yet to score. 2 minutes gone first term.
You said well-travelled. Interesting. No games last year, Jai Farah, but be on the brink of playing finals. Bombers were supposed to run the corridor. Redmond runs to half-back. Chips it to Durham, who takes the mark for the Bombers. Just beyond defensive 50 at right half-back. Short kick to Langford, defensive side of the wing. Carl Langford. Chips short again. Mark taken by Roberts on the wing. Roberts with his left boot from halfway. Kicks Essendon into attack for the first time tonight. Right crashes the pack. Can't take the mark. Rode by Rowell of the Suns. Hands it to Noble. Hand pass stolen by McGrath of Essendon. Quick hands to Merritt. Quick hands through Durham, but turned over. Anderson tries to hack it clear for the Suns. Davies has got it. He's tackled by McGrath. And we'll see a stoppage. Edge of the centre square, midway between centre and centre half forward.
Umpire throws it up quickly. It was Goldstein who got it down. Durham just absolutely threw it over his shoulder. Kicked off the ground by Merritt. Inside 50. Tracking back as Bodie Ulan for the Suns. He's being pressured there by Kako. And the ball gets knocked over the boundary line in the left forward pocket for the Bombers. There'll be a throw in.
Playing a short sort of style of footy at the moment. The Bombers are trying to get those short 20-metre kicks just to get the Suns really honest in their defence. So that's smart play already by the Bombers.
Every player on the paddock forward to centre as the throw-in happens in the beside the behind post for the Bombers. Immediately it's taken by Bodie Yule, and he's tackled by a couple of Bombers, and it'll be a ball up now, 35 out on a slight angle to the left.
One behind to the Suns. Bombers yet to score. Witts with the tap down. Kicked off the ground by Rowell. Doesn't get beyond defensive 50. Miller picks up, tackle, but Powell's there to help out. Wins the ball. Hands to Rioli. Hands it on to Fiorini. He to Weller. And now the kick from defensive 50 towards the wing. Humphrey back in the team. Can't mark over the top of Clark, but wins his own crumb. Finds space. Kicks to King in the pocket. And King takes the mark 20 metres out. He was one-on-one in the cage with Laverty. Great kick. And Ben King, too good.
Yeah, slick moving. That's the Suns, that handball chain off half-back. They want to try and play fast and quick as they can, which gives their athletic forwards a chance one-on-one to lead or over the back, and that played out beautifully for them from the half-back line.
Now a 5-time leading goal kicker at the Suns. 62 this year already. Slight angle left for the first goal of the night. Ben King's kick is true. Gold Coast is away on this all-so-important night for them. Suns 1-1-7. Bombers yet to score.
Gee, it's a terrific year, isn't it? 63 goals now. It's a fantastic year. He gets, we focus on Cameron and Gunston from Hawthorn, which he'd be nearly equal with Gunston now. He kicked a few on Sunday night, but it's an outstanding season from Ben King.
Yeah, and he just is, that's one of the things that very underrated is his work rate.
Yep.
We're looking at the replay now, and he was on the opposite wing, so he come up, and then there's a switch of play, and he needs to work back. But what about Humphrey's effort there on the wing? The ability to shrug the tackle, but then look up and then kick it to the favoured side for King. It was really well done, and that's why they love Humphrey. They love him in the forward line. It gives that grunt, the ability to get the second and third efforts, but also swinging through the midfield.
G'day to Grant from Georgetown in Tassie. Hey lads, I'm a Kangas fan but want to see an upset. Go Bombers. 0437 774 774.
Back into the middle. It was taken down by Witts and stolen there by McGrath. Gave it to Kako, puts it inside 50 at the back of the pack. McAndrew takes a very good defensive mark in the right back pocket. Immediately he wants to play on. He goes to the right of the mark, kicks it short of centre wing. Witts imposes himself, the big ruckman. The handball off to Lockie Weller, confronted. Goes left, then right. Ends it up with the right foot in the Ben Long direction. Spoiled, ball to ground. It's nicely taken there. Well, it was
Pryor.
It was Jackson Pryor. I thought I recognised him from the Lions a few games ago, but it came off his hands over the boundary line at left half back for the Bombers, right half forward for the Suns. On the outer side of the ground, there'll be a throw in.
Expecting about 16 or 17,000 tonight. Boundary throw in. Witts palms down to Fiorini. Hand pass doesn't clear the chop. And we'll see another stoppage. Rowell ended up tackling Perkins. Tossed in the air once more. Witts against Goldie on the Goldie. Give that to Witts. Flipped it out the back to Weller. From halfway for the Suns. A high ball to attacking 50. Farrar to the front of the pack. Outmarks Pryor. 40 from goal. Plays on quickly. Chips to the pocket. Ainsworth takes the grab. Despite some late arriving attention from young Clark.
But Farrar's been busy already, isn't he? Just marks its highest point. So hard to defend.
And what Essendon had to do then, I think it was Clark, he had to air assist then. He can't go one-on-one. They're undermanned. Sorry, Q has had a shot.
Yeah, and he's hit the
belly.
ball. It's going to fall in the goal square. Butterick flew, had a clean platted chest mark, dropped it. Bombers will go out the back. El Howie with the hand pass to Merritt. Merritt kicks it to the left back pocket. Dersma takes the grab for the Bombers. Early stages, perfect night at Carrara. Suns 1-1. Don's yet to score.
Ball gets kicked out to the right to Nguyen. He's in the right back pocket for the Bombers. He went to go right and then feigned and went left and kicked it just short of centre wing at the back of the pack. It was Guelphy for Essendon. His kick was cut off very nicely by Will Powell. He kicks it forward to centre wing. Bodie Hewlin now. He has it. The boy from Broadbeach looks for the pass. What a sizzler. It hits Ben King on the chest. He barely had to move. He did have a metre on Laverty, but he takes it 45 out. He's trying to pinch another metre on the mark. Here's Jaden Laverty, but it's going to be with Ben King to kick for his second.
Yeah, the Essendon just played too quick then. They had to do what they did the first one when Whitey mentioned kick, mark, and take their time, but they got caught playing quick, and the Suns are one of the best teams in the comp punishing off turnover.
So he's got the first goal of the match as Ben King. 63 goals, 18 at a superb rate of just under 78%. Kicks it from 45. He strikes it nicely. He strikes it absolutely beautifully. He's got 2 on the board within the first 9 minutes of the game, Ben King. 2-1-13 the Suns. The Bombers yet to score. 8:45 gone in this first quarter.
There was good patience there from Bodie Ulam, wasn't it? Just to hold and then be able to allow King to come at him as the kicker. So it was a great kick, just to lower the eyes and hit it to the target. But Essendon's got to get their numbers back. They've got to squash up that 45 because that's what the Suns are trying to do. They're trying to hit up those kicks. They tried it with Took Miller and it wasn't over the distance. So it's a strong focus for the Suns at the moment.
Well, that first goal, as Matt rightly said, takes Ben King to outright second behind Jeremy Cameron. And now 2 ahead of Jack Gunston, both of them starting tonight on 62. But Ben King with the first couple, up to 64 goals for the year. His best return. He kicked 55 last year. Centre bounce. Goldstein over Witts, roved by Perkins of the Bombers. Ham passes on to Shield. Clearance for the Dons. High kick to half forward on the head of Luwal. Couldn't take the mark. Power with a hand pass there for the Suns. Stolen by Dersma. Left half forward for Essendon. Hand pass comes in field. Luwal under pressure. Gives through Shield. Flips it out the back, setting a task of Guelphy. He's harassed by Butterick. Picked up eventually by Pryor near the wing. Kicks it around his body. Dropped by McMahon. Picked up though by Merritt. Kicks to full forward man all on his own. Durham takes the mark. 35 out straight in front.
There's good pressure by the Bombers out in the wing there. They stayed involved. They kept their feet, able to get the ball moving, and then Durham all by himself. He had a paddock inside forward 50 there.
So he's kicked 7 goals this year and back into the team after sustaining a foot injury. It's been the busiest medical ward in the competition, the Bombers, but good to see Sam Durham back tonight. Looking for Essendon's first. Angle not the problem. From 40 out, he's kicked the goal. Fine set shot from straight in front, and Essendon gets its first. Gold Coast 2-1-13 to the Bombers 1 straight 6.
Yeah, they've started well, Essendon, in a couple of key indicators. They're the worst inside 50 differential team in the competition, and the Suns are the second best, but the inside 50s are 6-all, and their clearances, they're up by 1, and they've won centre bounces too. So they've started really well with that territory battle, which makes it harder for the Suns to overload you and get a big score up, and that was a beautiful kick inside 50 and a lovely finish. So a good 5 or 6 minutes to start the game for Essendon, and a couple of key indicators they're really on top of.
The voices of Matthew Primus and Jeff White, your experts this evening. Quentin Hull and Michael Price calling the action. Zane Bojak's down on the boundary. It's Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport.
Umpire Brendan Hosking has it in the middle of Carrara on this very, very nice Gold Coast evening. Umpire slightly off with the bounce, but it's not recalled. Shield got the handball backwards. Laverde gives Durham, who's started the game well, his 5th possession already. It's a bit of a wobbler, puts it into the path of Clark. He's tackled off the ball. He just let it go. No, the umpire says he let it go, and then the tackle lingered. So it's a bit of a sling, and it will be Clark's free kick. Just forward of centre wing on the commentary side. And once again, the Suns just flood back. He's looking left and right, Clark, and he decides to just put it to the hot spot in front of the goal square. Destroying that pack, picked up, hacked out of there by the Bombers, and it bounces in front of Sam Collins. He gathers it. It's with Weller. Weller handballs over the top. Davies puts it back into the path there. Powell now to Mac Andrew. Under a fair bit of pressure too. Andrew uses his hands to Witts. Witts down the centre wing. And Ainsworth takes a juggler in front of Clark, who just missed the opportunity to spoil. He goes to the right of the mark now, Ainsworth. Kicks it to left half forward. Coming in, Ethan Reid. Off hands. Oh, Bailey Humphrey just chips it into space. Looking for Ben Long to run over it. And Laverde ran over him. Ball spills to Humphrey. He snaps from 40. It bounces, and it bounces right of the goalpost. 1 behind. 2-2-14 the Suns. The Bombers 1 straight, so it's 8 points the margin. We played 13 minutes first quarter. ABC Sport Wednesday night.
Price, a big collision between both Laverde and Long. They're both very sore at the moment. Both of them are hobbling.
Was Ben Long attacking the football? Both. It's on the eve of finals, all that type of stuff. There's just a little asterisk on that collision. Matt Primus is nodding his head. Suns have won it from the Bombers' kick in. Weller's got it, 70 from goal, left half forward. Repeat entry, fly from Butterick, one grab, not the second. Cleaned up at the back by Clark. He's got help through the hands of Laverde onto Clark. Now to Merritt in the left back pocket. Short pass, and in fact Shield it was in the back pocket, kicking it to Merritt, who takes the mark. So Laverde coming at the ball, Long coming towards the goals, and Long sort of collided with the ribs of Laverde. And the question whether or not he was in the contest, Pricey.
That's going to be the question that will be asked of the MRO, as Goldstein gave the handball off to Roberts. Roberts chips it to the wing. It's with Shield, and his kick was cut off and turned over. And they're the second worst team as far as turnovers go. The Suns inside 50. Ben Long, the target, 45 out, 45-degree angle to the right, will have a shot at goal.
Yeah, they did a good build-up to the wing there, Whitey. You know, they kick mark, but then I think Shield got called play on and snapped one around his body. And once again, we see how good the Suns are off a turnover. They go so quick, and powerful runners going back inside 50.
So Ben Long, he's had a great season, 42 goals for the year. If he kicks this one, it'll bring up a milestone. He gets very close to the man on the mark and pushes it right. One behind, 2-3-15, plays one straight. So it's 9 points the margin in favour of the Suns. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, Liam McMahon came off and he had claret pouring out of his nose, so he's been involved in a collision somewhere, and I can tell you that they're concerned about his nose and whether or not they might have to put it back. It looks like he's broken it.
Shield takes the mark from the inbound in the pocket. Long kick to the wing, goes beyond the head of Dersma. It tracks towards the boundary with Flanders, and neither of those two can keep it in. But the Bombers, with two kicks, get it from the kick in to a throw in. About 70 out at left half forward.
They've been under the pump a few times, but they're playing with some flair here, the Bombers, especially their clearance work. They've been really, really competitive and been winning that at the moment.
Suns by 9 points. Reed's in ruck. Has it pinched away from him though. Shield with a hand pass for Essendon to Dersma. Off a step. Rush kick to half forward. Jeffrey spoils the pack for Gold Coast. Suns at the Rove. Fiorini hands it to Jeffrey. Hands it to Reed. Reed hands it to the wing for Rowell. Hands it to Davies. Here's one of the key factors. They are running and handballing from half back tonight, the Suns. Davies makes a fluff of his bounce. Has time to get it back. Kicks over the head of Farrer in the pocket. And it bounces before rolling out of play. So that was one of the things we were looking at, Matt Primus, that the Suns actually going to run and share from the back line tonight.
The first 15 minutes of this quarter, you can certainly see it, can't you? Riola's getting involved, they're half-backs, they're on-ballers. High handball game to start the game with tonight.
Do you know a Simon from Adelaide? I'll get to that in a minute.
Throw in right forward pocket for the Suns. Reed versus Goldstein. I reckon the young fella had the veteran by the jumper, and the umpire calls that.
Simon says we have two articulate and intelligent ex-rucks in commentary, proving the myth about rucks is incorrect.
That's my brother. No.
Will we see this ruck go around next year, Pricey? Who knows?
Oh dear, 37-year-old Goldie. He's still in absolutely great form. The kick was towards Durham. He was held without it. Umpire says play on. The handball comes back to Sam Collins for the Suns. He was tackled as he kicked it towards right half forward. Davies beaten for it by Merritt, picked up by Shield. He handballed it forward, went to Roberts. He was tackled off the ball, spilled it back into the middle. Now it's with Rioli. He put Lockie Weller under enormous pressure. Good tackle by Guelphy. He let loose the ball. Now it's picked up by McGrath. McGrath flares it out to left half forward. Loping after it is 2-metre Peter, the former Sun. 60 from goal. Launches a big slipper. Now it's going to be Lual and Powell. Lual spalls it down. Well done by Noble. Gave it back to Powell. He gave it to Andrew by hand. Back to Noble, and they're out.
In tight, but they worked it well. Noble's kick to half back. Davies takes the grab. Plays on. Here's Rioli on return. Running out of defence. Make it two bounces to the centre for Dan Rioli. And a chip to the leading King. Oh, Dan, how we've missed you. And King will set sights on his third from 40 out straight in front.
There it is. That's the medicine they've been missing the last 2 weeks, that run and dash off the half-back line. And that's why it's so important. Noble can do it, but if you shut down Noble, then they haven't had Rioli, and that's exactly why he's so important for this side. That run and flare, that dash is just so electric.
Ben King might fill his boots tonight. He's lining up for a third. And we're only at the 18-minute mark of the first quarter. Straight in front, 40 metres out. He's kicked it. 3 already for Ben King. And the Suns have got 3-3-21 to Essendon's 1 straight 6. 18 minutes first term, Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. Zane Bojack on the boundary.
Yeah, look, he keeps feeling at that nose, but good news for Bombers fans. Liam McMahon is back out on the field. He's stuffed his nose full of cotton buds and he's back ready to go down the back.
Thank you. Just for our listeners, I know we're going to mention 1,000 times the live ladder, but percentage is equal at the moment.
All righto. We've got a graphic on the TV broadcast which stays up there all the time.
Okay, I just checked on my phone.
You've got the live ladder on your phone. I'll be really happy if you take responsibility for that tonight, Matthew. Can I delegate?
You can, mate. No worries.
So what, at the moment we've got
120.9.
Oh, what happens if they're level? we go to smaller percentage points.
Or for and against. Well, no.
We're back into the middle.
I'll leave that to
bounce.
you,
Wright versus Witts. Witts got it down and it was sharked there by Essendon and turned over by Wright in the end. Now it bounces out to right half forward. Rao, handball back to Flanders. He scrubs one in, picked up by Miller. Miller handball back to Rao. Rao to his mate Noah Anderson, the left foot. Absolutely sublime. He flares it out to the left and he finds Fiorini 45 metres out. There's a lead on. Guess who led? Guess who got the ball? Guess who's going to fill his boots? Ben King, 45 out, slightly closer to centre.
They're really smart, and they started this from the first time that Took Miller kicked inside forward 50. They lowered their eyes. They didn't want to bomb it. Last week, that's what they did, and Port Adelaide backs had a field day, so they've really restructured that part of their game.
So Ben King, he's already kicked 3 in this first term. All 3 of the Suns' goals. He lets go from the paint of 50. He strikes it nicely, but it's a bit thin. It's 1 behind. 22 plays 6, 16-point margin. 20 minutes gone of this first quarter.
Got too close to the man on mark there, Matty, didn't he?
He did. He's a bit overconfident, Whitey.
Yeah.
He's nailed the first 3, and I'll continue to do this one.
Redmond takes a bounce and runs to the pocket. Long kick in for Essendon to the wing. Collins is there to crunch it away for the Suns. Picked up by Anderson. Hand passes to the bullseye. Davies there's for the Suns. Hands it to Noble. Hands it on the deck to Jeffrey. Does well to ride the tackle of Merritt. Hand it to Flanders, edge of the centre square. He gives to Hewland. The support players there for the Suns tonight. He's kicked a half forward is good. Reid takes the mark. Right half forward, 60 from goal. Kicks infield to Flanders, who marks it right on 50. Sam Flanders. And is going to chip it to Took Miller. Just over the man on the mark. Miller's a little closer. Angle's a bit tougher. This is tough for Took from 45 out.
And it's good. Sorry, Kitty, butt in. But this is really smart by the Suns because it actually then forces and there it is again.
Chips infield to Anderson.
Yeah. So my point is that they can sense that the team is sucking back, and that's what Port Adelaide was doing last week, and then just kicked it long. Now they're just lowering their eyes. They're hitting these targets, and that's why they've had all these set shots from about 30 to 40 metres out, Posse.
He's played every game this year, Noah Anderson, one of 5 Suns, nominated for the All-Australian team. We'll find that out tomorrow night, and as Wayne Campbell told us earlier tonight, all of the Suns will be travelling, but I don't think they've got much of a say in it. AFL very keen to have them all go, despite their recent busy schedule. Anderson likes the kick as soon as he hits it. Great finish. The Suns have bounced away. First term at Carrara is now 22 minutes old. Gold Coast 4-4-28. Essendon 1 straight 6. Jeff White and Matt Primus, your experts.
Yeah, that territory battle's starting to hurt them, isn't it, Wayne? Their ability to spread from a contest, their running power, they're linking up with handballs. It's 40 kicks to 43 handballs. So they've come with the game really to try and stretch and run Essendon. 13 inside 50s already. That's getting on target for 60 for the game. So, 70, 80 for the game. So, yeah, they're on fire and they're playing their brand of footy straight up. Great to see.
And it's the exact start they wanted, the Suns. They wanted to put the scoreboard pressure on early, knowing that Essendon's not going to play finals, all the injuries they've got, all that sort of stuff that's going on, just to really stamp the foot down early.
I don't think it's going to matter, but Paul texts, if 2 teams are on equal points and percentage, it goes down to the team with the most points for.
Points for, okay. Which,
as we thought.
Yes.
Thank you for that. 0437 774 774.
Glad you clarified. Off hands now, Anderson. What a clearance. Feigned to go right, then went left, had a bounce. Here's a floating sack inside 50, though, off hands. Couldn't be taken there by Took Miller. Oh, the Bomber player who picked that up absolutely buried before we could identify him. He scrapes himself off the Carrara turf. It's Nguyen, and then will be a ball up 40 metres out from the Suns' goal. Witt got it down. Well, it's Dersma. did well through the pack, gave it to Archie Roberts, got the handball away. It went through Merritt. His kick slewed off the side of his boot, picked up by Guelphy. Under pressure, he puts the handball into the arms of Bodie Hewlin. He plays for the Suns, though. He doubled up and had a bit of a tackle, did Guelphy, and dislodged the ball, picked up by Dersma, ends up through hands back to Guelphy, and then he turns the ball over again. The Suns have it through the agency of Will Powell, just forward to centre wing on the outer side.
Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. He's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. As Powell kicks the Suns into attack again. Reid from behind flew. Got a hand, could it, Mark? Butterick does the roving, hands it out the back on 50. Flanders near the boundary, turns infield, chips it back to Powell. Not 15, says the umpire. So he weaves his way around an opponent, chips to the corridor. Ainsworth dropped the mark he should have taken. Does his buttering up at ground level. Hands it out the back to Noble, 50 from goal. Hands on to Miller, kick to the pocket. Farah the target. Spoil it down to the advantage of Fiorini. Here's left foot kick. He gets Jeff excited. Durham with a huge fly. Couldn't complete the mark. But McGrath does the roving. Hand pass exchange with Shield. It's stolen by Anderson. Pinched his pocket. And from the outside of his boot, the Suns skipper kicks his second. The Bombers were away. But Anderson read the play. 3 to King, 2 to Anderson, 5 to the Suns. They lead by 28 points, 5-4, 34-1, straight 6.
And they're trying to do the handball chain, exactly what Essendon's trying to do. You are going to overhand pass, and he just sweated on that, didn't he, Matty? He just knew that was coming. He knew there was a lot of hand passing going on, stayed patient, and then just really jumped on it.
And then the finish, wasn't it? The composure, the check side kick. Yeah, great. What a year he's had. What a year he's had.
Oh, this is his third year in the All-Australian squad, gentlemen, and if he's not in the All-Australian side at the end of it, I think it's a rort just quietly. I think he's had a magnificent season. The only captain in the AFL I think who's been a little bit better has been Jordan Dawson, to be honest with you.
Not many selectors sort of this far north in the continent, though.
That's a very good point, Q. We're back into the middle of Carrara, though. Jared Witts, superb ruck work into the path of Rowell yet again. Inside 50, it lobs onto the chest of Ben Long. He just led his opponent there in Redmond to the ball, took the mark, 45 out, 45-degree angle to the right.
It was too easy out of the centre bounce. They started well, Essendon in the middle, but Witts was a beautiful hit then to Rowell. Quick kick, but...
It's a 50 now.
It's a 50 now. What has occurred there? What is
looked like there was a bit of a clash in the goal square with Farah. They saw Farah put his hand up, then must have been a bit of an altercation there in the goal square, and then the umpires immediately called a 50-metre penalty. So
well spotted, Whitey. So Ben Long's going to be taken all the way down to the goal line. He has kicked 99 career goals, Ben Long. This one's a soda. Comes in, and he hits the century, and they all know it too. They've all run up to Ben Long. Not only has he kicked the 6th goal for the Suns to start his first term, 100 goals in the AFL, a very big achievement for him. 6-4-40 the Suns, one straight to the Bombers, 34 points the margin late in the first quarter.
Do you reckon our Doggies listeners are still with us? Matt?
I think they're switched
off. It's only
off.
early on.
Switched off, Q, as good as used to are calling it. They've switched off, I reckon.
Well, who wants to hear the pain?
The pain, yes. You relive it again, yes.
Yeah. Not looking good.
No, it's not looking good, isn't it? And the Gold Coast have done exactly what they need to do. Come out, stamp their authority straight away on the game, take any enthusiasm or want to compete straight away out of Essendon on the scoreboard and on the field, and that's what it looks like the first 20 minutes in.
So as it stands, it's at Giants versus Hawthorn, Freo versus Gold Coast Suns.
Okay, Jeff.
Live ladder.
Our latest live ladder man with the update. Centre bounce, Goldstein does the roving, and the big fella trots away. Left foot kick into attack for Essendon. Looking for McMahon in the pocket. Collins with the knuckle to punch it over the boundary line for a throw in. Sam Collins in that group of 5 Suns in the All-Australian squad.
It's a great story, isn't it, Collins?
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, amazing to where he's worked his backside off to get here and be an All-Australian squad.
So among a number of stops, but formerly a Fremantle docker before coming here, and really, well, he's the reigning best and fairest, and he's won 2 best and fairest here, Sam Collins. Boundary throw in, Bombers in attack, but rowed by Jeffrey of the Suns. Hands to Anderson, hands to Powell. They run it to half back, hands it to Witts, hands it to Rowell. Shields chasing. Rao now kicks. Poor kick. Merritt a chance to mark. Couldn't grab it though. Picked up by Long of the Suns. Hands it to Hewland, who's on halfway. Bodie kicks it inside 50. Laverty leads King to the ball. And Jaden Laverty takes the grab for Essendon.
He read it well, didn't he? Gave the handball off to Redmond. Has a bounce. Then kicks it to right half-back. Oh, it just went straight through the hands of Lual. He butted up, though. Tackled his opponent, Fiorini, at left half-forward. 55 out from goal. The umpire will come in and ball it up. So they just look like a team that's playing without a lot of confidence, the Bombers, and you can understand it's been one of the toughest seasons on record injury-wise. Brad Scott hasn't had a full team to really pick for a very long time. Out of this contest, Anderson to Rao. Gold Coast fans would be love hearing that. Rao, the left foot to a dangerous area. Butterick drops what he might have taken under pressure from Nguyen. Umpire just didn't call that one Whitey as it's hacked out of there into the middle of the field. Now Kako got the handball away to Langford. He has a bounce. He's confronted by Fiorini. Then Fiorini half smothers the kick. It rolls towards half forward, picked up by Collins. Handball to Lockie Weller at half back.
Speaking of ex-Dockers, Weller kicks across the half-back line. Flanders takes the mark. Edge of the centre square, right half-back for Gold Coast, who lead by 34 points. Hands it to Noble, who kicks infield to Powell. And the Suns have got this on their terms. I mean, you forget the scoreline, you just look at the way that this game is going. They're running when they want, it's effective, and now they're slicing them to bits with short passes. Noble with the uncontested mark on the wing. Kicks high to attacking 50 in the contest. Well spoiled by the knuckle of Pryor to bring it to ground level. Siren beats the last kick, I think.
No, he's kicked that.
Has he kicked the goal?
He's kicked that before the siren.
Matt Rowell is celebrating.
He's kicked that before the siren.
And, yep, the umpires are happy with it. Right on the siren, Matt Rowell has kicked a 7th first quarter goal for Gold Coast. It's the perfect opening for the Suns with a first ever finals appearance beckoning. It makes the quarter time margin 40 points. Gold Coast 7 goals for 46 to Essendon's 1 straight 6. First 3 goals to King. Next 2 goals to Anderson. Then a goal to Long and a goal to Rowell. Essendon's only goal kicked by Durham, and it was the 3rd goal kicked in the quarter. So 7-4-46 leads 1 straight 6. It's Gold Coast by 40 points at quarter time on Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport.
You meet the most interesting people on Sunday morning.
Driving through this hot land full of dust and smoke, this little pommy fella feels like a true blue Aussie bloke.
Join the rest of Australia right here on Sunday morning.
Australia All Over, Sunday mornings on ABC Radio. This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Slight angle left for the first goal of the night. Ben King's kick is true. Gold Coast is away on this so important night for them.
So he's got the first goal of the match as Ben King. Kicks it from 45. He strikes it nicely. He strikes it absolutely beautifully. He's got 2 on the board within the first 9 minutes of the game, Ben King.
Picked up eventually by Pryor near the wing. Kicks it around his body. Dropped by McMahon. Picked up, though, by Merritt. Kicks to full forward man all on his own. Durham takes the mark, 35 out straight in front. Been the busiest medical ward in the competition, the Bombers, but good to see Sam Durham back tonight. Looking for Essendon's first. Angle not the problem. From 40 out, he's kicked the goal. Davies takes the grab, plays on. Here's Rioli on return, running out of defence. Make it 2 bounces to the centre for Dan Rioli, and a chip to the leading King. Oh, Dan, how we've missed you. And King will set sights on his 3rd from 40 out straight in front. He's kicked it. 3 already for Ben King. And the Suns have got 3-3-21 to Essendon's 1 straight 6. Fiorini, his left foot kick. He gets Jeff excited. Durham with a huge fly. Couldn't complete the mark, but McGrath does the roving hand pass exchange with Shield. It's stolen by Anderson. Pinched his pocket. And from the outside of his boot, the Suns skipper kicks his 2nd.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Were we ever going to get any grey area tonight? I think it was either going to be really good or really flat. I think it's probably the latter. Welcome back to Wednesday Night Footy on ABC Sport at Carrara. Why? Well, all the permutations about the margin if the Suns win. Maybe Essendon could have mounted a challenge and kept Bulldogs fans interested. The Doggies fans literally tail between legs at the moment because Gold Coast has kicked 7 goals to 1 in the first quarter to lead by 40 points. 7-4-46 to be precise to the Bombers 1 straight. Quentin Hull, Michael Price, Jeff White and Matt Primus bringing it to you from the box. St. Bojack's down below. You can get in touch on 0437 774 774. We know that Fran always sticks around. Good on you, Fran. She takes a little painstaking to watch, but I'll take the footy any day of the week. I missed a great game to call on Sunday. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I did. I was in Mackay doing the cricket. Can't be everywhere at once. But I was hoping that this sort of might be my footy fix of the week and somewhat live up to expectations and drama and theatre and storylines, but my hopes are waning. Jeff.
Still hanging on, are you, Q?
Oh, we never... It's always a pleasure to come to the footy and share your knowledge. But this first half hour, we were waiting to see whether the Suns were nervous, and we were waiting to see whether or not they've got their run back.
And they've ticked both boxes, haven't they? They were nervous. They came out, did exactly what they needed to do. And I loved it. I just saw on the AFL website that 12 marks inside 50 they've had, the Suns, which is the most they've ever had in their history of the competition in a quarter. So they've come, and Jeff mentioned a couple of times their short kicks. They've learnt their lesson from last week, and also probably trying to expose Essendon's backs and midfielders that have, coming from all over Australia to play with them tonight. How many players have had the injury. So they've got a real plan, and they've executed it perfectly in the first 30 minutes.
I love that start because it is clearly that's the instruction. It was, I said when Took Miller got that, first time they went inside forward 50, he was trying to lower his eyes. Last week they didn't do that, and against the sides, we're pretty confident they're going to play finals. When you're in the finals, a lot of the sides love to zone off in their D50. So if you're kicking it and bombing it like they were last week, so that really shows that even though they didn't train as much, and you can't do a lot of training in 5 days, they sat in front of and did education, and they thought through how they could dissect and what they did wrong, and that's clear as day as what they've changed, and have 12 marks inside forward 50. That's enormous, and that's clear, distinct change of game strategy tonight.
And on the SMS, we're always going to get these kinds of questions. Rich from Ocean Grove asking, I wonder if with 5 minutes to play in the last and the game one, Gold Coast aim to manipulate percentage so they avoid a trip to Perth. So if they get to 7th, they'll go and play Fremantle. But there's no way that the Suns want to play the Giants because the Giants have beaten them 15 of their last 16.
Yep.
So it's go to the other side of the country or go to Sydney to play a team who owns you.
Owns you, yep. Absolutely.
So, and we understand why those questions come through. And about 5 goals is that threshold.
Yep.
If the Suns win by more than 5 goals, they'll play Freo. If it's less than that, they'll play Greater Western Sydney. Neither's an appealing...
What are the 2 teams that have beaten the Gold Coast on the home deck here?
Freo.
And?
Giants.
Yes.
Yep. Who cares?
Yep.
According to that.
On that, Pricey, do you want to take the opening bounce of the second quarter, please?
And just on the stats too, 13 to Row and a goal, 5 tackles. Unbelievable.
Great start. They're plus 37 in disposals. Make this disposal number 14 for Rowell, and I'll give him a clearance as well. He got the handball to Noble. Just forward to right half back. He has a bounce, does John Noble. He kicks it just short of half forward. Juggling one-handed by Ethan Reid. Handball to Took Miller. From 50, he kicks it to a dangerous spot. Bombers with the numbers. That's a really good mark taken by young Angus Clark in defence. He's going to turn it over here. He's kicked it to his teammate. It was just cut off there. Lockie Weller with the ball for the Gold Coast Suns. He flares it to the right, and he finds his mate in Joel Jeffrey. He's 70 from goal.
Yeah, Manzi was the target in the pocket, had it chopped off. Jeffrey from 60 sets the Suns to full forward again, but Blackiston's there to take the mark for the Bombers in the last line of defence.
2 great marks to start it, an intercept mark and then a one-on-one mark there. Terrific by the young Bombers defenders.
Yeah, one of 3 mid-season draft pickups playing tonight. And he was this year. Kicks the half back. Durham's taken another grab. He's going hang time tonight, Jeff. I think he's using this game as licence to fly. He kicks it to a pack at half forward. Knuckled to ground level. Andrews tackled off it by Wright, holding the ball. Or holding the man. Holding the man.
Why not? Go for Mark of the Year. It's the last game. Let's try and do it.
Mac Andrews got the free kick. A bit of a worm-burning pass to Yuland. Called to play on. Hand pass stolen by Kako. Bombers have got it on the wing. Hand passes to El Howie. Hands it on to McGrath. Kick to half forward is marked by Peter Wright. And I've got visions of Craig Starcevich being in the broadcast box with us when this guy came in, and he dubbed him the Caresser because of the way that he got easy distance and easy power with his right foot kick. So he knows this geography. It's 6 years at the Suns. Of course,
this is
a couple of years ago, best and fairest at the Dons.
Yeah, this is a layup.
For him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's general golfer, this is a 5-iron.
He's sick.
But for Peter Wright, it's a 54-degree wedge. On his right boot. Caresses it to the right for a point. Right, point. 7-4, 46 to 117.
Gold Coast play on quickly through Noble. He puts it just beyond the arc, finds Will Powell at left half back. He immediately hits the point of the centre square to Mac Andrew. Through hands very quickly. Dan Rioli flares it to the left to Anderson. Anderson looks for Long. Long did the body work very well, and then he gathered it at ground level. He got to the arc of 50, curled it around. He was looking for Humphrey, and it was cut off there by Jackson Pryor for the Bombers in the right back pocket. Humphrey had his arms up.
I think he was trying to have a shot there, Pricey.
Well, that's a long way around to curl it around from 50.
Pryor runs off the mark. Kicks it to right half back. Menzies judges it well. Takes the mark. Kicks back infield to McGrath. Takes the grab just beyond defensive 50, right half back. Suns by 39, early stages, second turn. Pass finds Langford. Takes it on his chest. Just defensive side of the Nerang River wing.
I'd like to see the Dons just play on a bit quicker. Just have some run and support from behind and just play on every opportunity. Got obviously nothing to lose, but try and get the Suns' defence off the line a little bit.
Well, he shared it with Roberts, who gave the problem back to him. It was defensive to Roberts. Roberts chips it back to Laverty, to Langford, who's actually 10 metres more defensive. So he gives it back to Roberts.
Yeah,
and now Langford runs past and said, I'll take the handball. He does. Chips a little pass beyond halfway. Merritt takes the grab. Edge of the centre square for the Bombers. Kicks to half forward. Goldstein grabs it. 60 out. Hand passes to Perkins. Evades one. Chips to the pocket. Kako's there. And takes the mark. 30 out in the left forward pocket.
Should be a coach. But that's what they need to do. They need to play on. They need to encourage that run from behind because it just generates movement. It generates movement up ahead, but it also puts the Suns' defence off the line.
How many videos are you posting a week with your analysis, Jeff?
2 a week.
Two a week.
Yeah, but I love that. They're going to play on.
Yep.
Give it.
Kako runs infield. Right foot snap is near side. It hits the post. Essendon 1-8, trailing Gold Coast 7-4, 46. So what's it called, Whitey, if people want to search it?
First use.
First use.
Oh, thank you. Q?
Oh, look. Good stuff.
Now the Suns have it. It's with Jeffrey. Just lobs it short of centre wing. Floating in front of the pack, Ethan Reid. And then Alex Davies imposed himself, ran through it, delivered the ball just with a tap onto Bailey Humphrey. He kicks long inside 50. King at the back of the pack against Laverty. Tried to gather the ball. He lost it. Redmond got the handball away back to Laverty. He gestures for somebody to come at him, and they didn't come at him quick enough. Fiorini got in the way. He was tackled off it. Picked up by Pryor for the Bombers. Gets it back now to McGrath. He's at left half back. Kicks it long down the wing. Through the hands of Noble. Welfie gathered it, and then Noble gathered him. Dropped him, and the ball is in the hands of Noble with the free kick. He played on advantage. Now it's kicked inside 50. Ethan Reid spoiled again. He gathered the ball, though. Got the handball off to Humphrey. He has a flying shot, semi-smothered, and it bounces through for one behind. 47 plays 8, so it's back to that 39-point margin with about 6 minutes gone. Second term. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, Mac Guelphy came straight off. He got a collision at basically on the point of his nose. So a couple of nose injuries for Essendon, but I think he's going to be okay. There's no clarity at this stage, but it's a little bit bruised.
Good on you, Zano. Zane Bojak close at hand. Menzies marks the inbound, just shy of defensive 50. No man on the mark, so runs to right half back, kicks long to the wing. Clark, the target, couldn't take the grab. Durham's trying at ground level. There are Suns there, though, to usher it over the line for a boundary throw in on what is a gorgeous Wednesday night for footy. Who would have thought this game, which was scheduled to be game 3 of the season, is now the last game, with a number of clubs waiting to see what happens next based on what happens in this game. Witts with the palm down. Weller, clearance for the Suns on the wing. Hand passes to Miller. Spearing bullet to the leading Reed. Blackiston, good knuckle. Got it away from him. Anderson does the roving, 60 from goal. Hands to Flanders, right to tackle. Hands to Miller. Hands it from Fiorini to Weller on 50. Hand passes poor. Stolen by Clark of Essendon. Defensive 50 centre-half back. Nice sticky hands right in the middle of the ground. He played on quickly. Gives the hand pass. Kick goes to half forward from Perkins. Marked by McMahon. Kicks to the pocket on the head of Kako. Noble does enough to spoil. And it's through for another Bombers behind.
He had to be patient there. He had Langford actually going inside forward 50, so he just had to be patient a little bit.
Nice ball movement though, Pricey.
That certainly was from the Bombers as Noble brings it back in. Went straight up the middle. Presenting was the skipper, Noah Anderson. He's got it with his back 40 metres from his own defensive goal. He comes out to the commentary wing, or just short of it, to find Will Powell. Gathers. That's a nice looking kick. It bounces away though from Ethan Reid. There's a bit going on behind the play between Bailey Humphrey and Archie Roberts as well. A bit of a wrestle as the ball goes over the boundary line at right half forward. For the Suns, 60 out, there will be a throw in front of the small scoreboard showing the Suns leading by 38 points.
Here's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. Shallow boundary throw in. Goldstein got to it first. Knuckles it down to Merritt. Near the boundary. Nice chip pass to the leading big man, Pete Wright.
He's leading up. He's presenting, which is good. It just sucks out the defence.
Good battle against Mac Andrew.
Yeah, it is a good battle.
Wright kicks to half forward. Langford from behind. Crashes the pack. Can't mark. Falls to Rowell of the Suns. Kicks back to right half forward. Witt's got a push in the back. Humphrey play on to advantage. Kicks it inside 50. Ben Long marks. Called to play on. Must have been a half volley. Hands it to Ainsworth. Hands it on to Anderson. 60 out. On his left. Kicks to the pocket. It'll bounce in front of King. King can't keep it in under pressure from Redmond. Boundary throw in. Right back pocket for the Dons. Left forward pocket for the Suns. They led by 40 points at quarter time, kicking 7 goals to 1 in the first term. We haven't had a goal so far in this second term. It's a 38-point lead to the Suns. We've played 9 minutes, second quarter.
Bit sloppy, aren't they, Matty, going forward?
Yeah, and I reckon Essendon's pressure's ticked up a little bit and made it a little bit harder for them.
So the throw-in happened, the wrestling between the two big ruckmen, and Witts has given away a free kick as both of the big fellas hit the deck here at Carrara. Crowd don't like it, but it was a good wrestling match.
They've already had 14 marks, Essendon, in this quarter, which is nearly double what they had in the first quarter. So they're trying to own the ball and take care of the turnovers that cost them in the first quarter.
So it's chipped forward. Jackson Pryor flares it to left half back to find Laverty now with a bit of bandaging around the head. He kicks it beyond centre wing. Collins in between two. Went back, couldn't mark it, but went back and gathered the ball. Tackled by both McMahon and El Hawley. And the umpire's going to come in and throw it up on the commentary wing.
You've got a thought? 0437 774 774. Goldstein with the tap, but straight to Flanders of the Suns. Hands it defensive side of the stoppage to Noble. Just shy of the wing. Kicks it around the boundary line. Nice mark. Humphrey used his body to protect the drop. And Bailey Humphrey, he missed a couple of games back in tonight. He's an important player. He's kicked to half forward. El Hawley did a good job. Not a great kick. El Hawley with a juggling mark right on the paint of defensive 50.
It's a little bit too cute. That kicks inside 50s and
kicks it back to the wing. Goldstein and Witts. Who gets this one? Come on, you two. Like, we've got an old dinosaur tangle here. Play on, it was Witts.
Yeah.
Flanders kicks to half forward. Long takes the mark.
Old dinosaur tangle.
Yeah, it is an old. It's not Madden and Wren, but when you've got Goldstein and Witts, I'm going old dinosaur tangle.
Okay.
Long chips to the pocket, and Ainsworth takes the mark. So what have we got? Witts, 32 years of age. Yeah. Goldstein, 37 years of age.
Between them, there's...
I say it's a very respectful
eh?
old dinosaur tangle.
Just checking in. That was.
You know how much people love dinosaurs? Anyway, we've got Ainsworth with it in the right forward pocket. A couple of metres in from the boundary. It'll take a good kick. Man on the mark's 35 from goal. Ben Ainsworth with his right boot misses narrow. It's a point. Gold Coast 7-6-48, Essendon 1-3-9. 39 the lead to the Suns, eh?
Yeah, sub enacted for Essendon. Unfortunately, Guelphy has had to go to the back bench. He can't continue anymore, and we're about to see someone come on very shortly.
So it was a poke in the eye or a nose or something like that.
It was a poke in the eye when he was in that tackle with Noble on the wing.
Well, the Bombers bring it back to the commentary wing. Went through the hands of Al Hawley. Nicely picked up by Flanders. He goes with the left-hand handball to find Ainsworth onto the logo to Jeffrey. Jeffrey with a magnificent kick. Good vision to the point of the centre square. Left half forward with Weller. He kicks it long. Oh, the body work was good. Bailey Humphrey, he is strong. He's got that Cam Rayner type of absolute brute strength in the contest. Takes the mark to 45-degree angle to the right, but he's only about 15 out.
Who was that switch from then? Was that Jeffrey that switched?
Yep, Jeffrey over to Weller.
What a switch. Forward. Yeah, great switch. And what they did, it just opened up that area for Humphrey to come into.
So Bailey Humphrey, he's only 15 out, 45-degree angle to the right. He's looking to curl it around with the left foot, and he does. Celebrates to the crowd as the Gold Coast Suns get their first goal of the second term, their 8th overall. 8-6-54 to the Bombers, 1-3-9. 45-point margin, 12 and a half gone, second term.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for the switch of play and how effective it can be. It just switches the defence, and then the fat side kick from Weller was really, really powerful.
Who knows how many games the Suns will play in this September, but across the journey, I'm looking forward to seeing the September games that Bailey Humphrey plays in his career. He's just got that vibe
look about him. Yeah. Yep.
You know, he's got a bit of aggro in him. He's got some skill.
And you get
physicality.
Yeah, and you can see tonight that link up, that half-back line of Noble, Jeffrey and Rioli is so strong. It is a real pillar of the Suns' counter-attack going forward and their ability to break the lines.
45 points the lead to the Suns. Centre bounce. Goldstein beats Reid, but Davies comes through to row for the Suns. He hand passes to his own advantage. Regathers 70 from goal. Hands it to Ainsworth, 50 from goal. Hands it to Reid, 40 from goal. Outfoot of the boot, lazy kick from Ethan Reid. Straight to Laverty in the goal mount. And the Bombers defender takes an uncontested chest mark.
He had more time, he could have straightened up then.
Yeah. Laverty's kick looking for Dersma at left half back. Dersma presents to take the grab. Relatively uncontested, beyond defensive 50. Well, he played on and then looks backwards. Now kicks down the line. Looking for McMahon. Collins does the spawning. Kako roves taken high. Free kick for Isaac Kako. The orange boots and that sort of ponytail out the top of his head. Recognisable from the moment he made his debut earlier this year. Kick to half forward. Suns win it off the hands of the pack. Noble hand passes to the wing for Weller. Another forward foray coming up for the Suns. Weller kicks it to attacking 50. Long juggles, not claim the mark, but then hands it to Butterick from 50. Off his one step, left foot kick hits the post. It was an open goal mouth. It was a scummed kick. Dare I say it didn't deserve a goal? But it's a point. 8-7-55 to 1-3-9. As it sits, the Suns are 7th and are heading west to play the Dockers, and the Giants will host the Hawks.
It's a game-high 46-point margin at the moment. It's brought back in for the Bombers. Peter Wright was the target. He gave his opponent a bit of a nudge. Mac Andrew, the beneficiary there. He's 80 from goal. Just forward to centre wing on this commentary side in front of the interchange benches. The Bombers flood back again. Every player on the paddock forward of halfway. Andrew launches it into the pocket. Goldstein had the set. At the back, King spoiled. Durham front and square. He's hold on to it for quite some time under the tackle there of Noble. He's still got the kick away. It's cut off on centre wing by Hewlin. Handball backwards to Collins. He flares it to the other wing to find Jeffrey. He plays on quickly. Kick inside 50. Looking for Ben Long. Did his body work early on young Angus Clark. Took the mark. About 40 out. He's on a very tight angle to the left. He's been kicking them beautifully though, Ben Long. 43 for the year. He's facing back inboard. Now, fellas, he'll strike this from 45 out. He's facing inboard, looking to kick this one around the corner with his right boot. He plays on quickly. He skied this one as he's hit it a bit fat. It just made it to the goal line and very wide, and it was bashed through for one behind.
16 scoring shots to 4. And what's the inside 50? 33-12 in favour of the Suns. Conservative inbound. Shield takes the mark on the short pass. And now the long left foot kick from Roberts, who kicked it in, then played support kick to McMahon, flew, couldn't take the grab. Ball to Decker on attacking 50 for the Bombers. Gee, that's a hot tackle. Unwin got tackled straight away by Collins, holding the ball. Collins kicks to the wing. It bounces favourably for Jeffrey of the Suns. Kicks it to half forward. Marked by Ainsworth, 60 from goal. Another entry coming up for the Suns. Right foot chip to the pocket. Oh, Reed spoiled Farah and tapped it out of play. Blackiston was there, but I think that was intended more so for Jai Farah.
Are they getting a free kick?
Paid in the back.
Oh,
Paid in
really?
the back,
What, to the Suns?
To
Reed.
Yep.
It's a bit that was a soft one, I thought.
Okay. Ethan Reed. Sort of, where's he at, gentlemen? Fluffed his lines in a couple of important moments last week, Matt. You were there at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, well, he's obviously gone ahead of Jed Walden. They've chosen just to go the two tools. And obviously it gives them the ability to go into the ruck.
Well, he kicks okay from the pocket. Ethan Reed, 20 metres out, opens up the right boot, snaps it through. Gold Coast 9-8-62. Essendon 1-3-9. Matt Primus and Jeff White, your experts. Wednesday night footy.
I think he
on ABC Sport.
Sorry, Q. I think he gives him a better look. His ability to run up the ground. He's not just. I think Walters at the moment is just more of a push and shove deep forward, and he can play a bit deeper. King can get up the ground, and they can roll that over. So I think it's a better look, and that's what they've gone with the last month.
And the second ruck aspect.
If you're with us on News Radio in Brisbane, welcome. The interesting nuance of Parliament sitting ensures that our duty as the national broadcaster means we must take Parliament. Okay. Parliament is over for the evening, so now you can listen to the football on News Radio in southeast Queensland. Quentin Hull, Michael Price, Jeff White and Matt Promise with you. Zane Bojack on the boundary. All Suns here. They lead by 53 points, having led by 40 at quarter time. You often listen to Parliament on News Radio?
I don't, but good luck to you if you do.
Life's too short. As Davies kicks it inside 50. Ethan Reed juggles it with one hand. Pryor for the Bombers gave it to Roberts by hand. Coming back to help out Dylan Shield. He puts the handball out, gets the 1-2 back. He's 70 from his own goal now. He lobs it beyond centre wing. Collins advantaged by that. Nicely spoiled by McMahon. It falls into the corridor. McGrath roves. Intelligently goes back with the handball. Gives it back to Roberts. He kicks it inside 50. At the back of the pack, the Bombers had the numbers. They just couldn't quite pull that off as they come through now. The Suns through hands. Fiorini. He turns it over though. Once again, it's with Perkins. He gives it now off to Dersma. He burns Jeffrey off. Gave the handball out there to Merritt. Merritt 55 from goal. Centred the ball. Langford with the juggling effort. That's a good kick, but an equally good mark under really fast pressing pressure from the Suns. Langford will go back and have a shot from 35 out, slight angle to the left.
When you see the superstars of the game, when they look inside forward 50 pricing, they have a split second to sum up where it's just brilliant to watch. That was a wonderful kick from Merritt.
He averages about 28 disposals a game, Merritt. He's just prolific, and that was just sublime.
Zach 007 with that left boot.
Yes.
So, Kyle Langford, we were talking about him earlier off air as one of the most underrated forwards in the game. He comes in, strikes nicely, and kicks the Bombers second. So it's 9-8-62 to the home side, the Suns, to 2-3-15 to Essendon. 47 points the margin, and we've played 20 minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, it's just great to see from Merritt. He's on the left-hand side of the boundary, outside forward 50, and just kick across his body. But to sum it up really quickly, I just love watching that, Q.
Who's more hard done by not to make the All-Australian squad? Tristan Sherry or Zach Merritt?
Merritt.
Oh, I thought I'd ask the Ruck Brigade.
No, I think Grundy and Gawn have been the standouts. Sherry's close third.
Matt?
I probably think Sherry. I think Grundy's 2 months has been amazing, hasn't it, Whitey? Amazing, but I reckon Sherry's work over the whole season's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting that All-Australian team named tomorrow night.
Sometimes it's hard to get into the squad. Once you're in, you can get nominated a few years in a row, I reckon.
Okay. at Primus. A or two about that. Centre bounce. Rowell with the clearance. Hand pass out the back. Ricochets from his intended target. El Hawley picks up for Essendon from the wing. Kicks to half forward. Shield marks 50 from goal. Plays on quickly with his left boot. He's got Menzies at the top of the square. And Menzies takes the mark. 15 out, slight angle left.
Yeah, a great couple of minutes. They've been outnumbered all night from contest situations, Essendon, but the rebound out of the 50, they were able to get that back and merit the kick inside 50, and that was just a contest where there was 3 Essendon players v2, and then a beautiful kick from Shield, advantage kick, give a great looking goal.
Menzies not much of an angle, but he's going the right-footed snap from slightly left. It's executed well. Jai Menzies, it's back-to-back goals for Essendon. Hold on. That live ladder and the margins, it'll keep us interested all night. 41 points the lead to Gold Coast at 9-8-62 to 3-3-21. 2 and a couple of minutes for the Bombers.
Once again, just great kick inside forward 50, kick the favoured side, give their forwards an opportunity and kick it over the defender's head. And off the line kicks. I love the off the line kicks, Q. So not going straight up the goals. You're kicking off the line. You're giving your teammates an opportunity to create a bit of space.
Is Max going to get number 8?
Yep.
I had to, wouldn't he?
Yep.
There you go. Unanimous from the tall timber.
Everyone wants Max Gorn here.
Well,
the ruck union.
Even those who...
That is outstanding, though, isn't it?
Who has the record?
The
most All-Australians.
Rucks, he's got it now, I think. 8 would be his
The
record.
clearance for Essendon. Perkins going back with the flight. Bow to Yulin, courageous. He ends up with the ball in his hands too somehow. Got the handball out. Gave it to Jeffrey, to Noble under enormous pressure. Noble puts it over the boundary line.
Look, it was more like an aim-on last week, I reckon.
It came straight to my mind.
Yep, that could have been adjudicated as insufficient in the end, but I think under enormous pressure from Merritt, the other unlucky one, well, it's going to be a throw-in at left half forward for the Bombers.
Let's be honest, that one there was right. The one on Sunday night was
incorrect.
Was wrong. Boundary throw in, Essendon at left half forward. Goldie battling away. The big fella leans over to pick up. Has it pinched from his bootlaces by Davies, but Goldie says, no, you're not getting away. Makes the tackle. Let's ball it up again. Goldstein and Witts. Witts with the tap to Davies. His hand pass stolen by McGrath. Up and under kick from 60. Comes down in the pocket. Yulin to double-fisted spoil. Anderson taps it boundary side. Picked up by Noble of the Suns. Nice handball along the ground. Weller fumbles, though. Picked up by Yulin. Suns are out the back now. Hands it to Powell. Powell to Rioli, who kicks across the face of goal. Half volleyed by Andrew in the pocket. His kick is smothered and stolen. And the snap on the left boot just misses. Just misses. Behind Gold Coast 9-8-62. Essendon 3-4-22. McMahon almost creating something from nothing there for the Dons.
The Suns bring it back in. Noble to Yulin. He runs up to the paint of 50 at right half back, then launches towards centre wing. Good body work done there by Blackiston, but it couldn't quite affect the mark. And tracking it back over, Nguyen takes it over the boundary line next to the interchange gates, and Zane Bojack, who's down there.
Yeah, I've just been watching Dylan Shield down here. He looks like a player who's resigned to the fact that he's not going to get many minutes tonight. He's been sort of hangdog all match, to be honest with you. Obviously, it's his last one in Bombers colours. Not great body language.
Throw in, commentary wing at the back of the pack both. Ruckman missed it. Taken by Lockie Weller. Tackled into the ground by Durham, who's having a fair dinkum go tonight. The ball was loose. Witts, handball backwards to Noble. Off a step, it's a helicopter kick towards right half forward. Archie Roberts did well. Got the 1-2 handball back, but then he's absolutely poleaxed, crunched over the boundary line by Lockie Weller. And it's going to be a throw-in, 55 out from the Suns' goal. They're leading this one by 40 points at the moment.
Just on that All-Australian, 8 is the record.
Yep.
Harvey Rashudo, Ablett Jr., Buddy and Patrick Dangerfield.
Yep, so going for 8 tomorrow night. Boundary throwing clean position. Witts, 2 Bombers collide. Witts hand passes to Rao. Burns off defenders. Left foot shot from 40 doesn't curl enough. Now,
Goldie's
that's
down.
a point. Who's hurt?
Goldie. He's holding his head too, Q, behind the play.
It was friendly fire. I had to follow the ball. Now, the umpire has indeed said, don't kick it in.
Friendly. Yeah, it was too.
So, Todd Goldstein ran into Dersma's head.
Dersma. Oh.
Yeah.
So Dersma's up in
face to face, literally.
The sub's already been...
Oh, he's a bit wobbly, Q.
Yeah, no, he's out.
Well, let's hope that this isn't the last time we see Todd Goldstein leave the field in an Essendon jumper. We get the sense that he'll probably suit up next year. But if he doesn't, let's give him his moment. Zane down on the boundary.
Yeah, he doesn't look great at all. Got blood coming out of his nose and also out of just above the top lip as well, as Shield goes back on, incidentally, for him. So don't know how that mixes up their structure, but he's going straight down the race. Yeah, I don't think we'll see Goldie again tonight.
I hear Kangas fans applauding as well.
The football world should be applauding that one. Fair dinkum. Comes out now, just short of centre wing. The Bombers have the ball. Shield put a handball speculating forward. McAndrew couldn't pick it up, but then he poleaxed the Essendon player. Is that Angus Clark who's now holding the... No, it's not actually. It's the young Unwin who came in. Sub from Guelph. He's holding his left buttock. He got a nice knee there too from McAndrew. Now he's limping off too.
Yeah.
Boy, they can't take a bloody trick, the Bombers. You just got a feel for them at the moment.
That was a big corky right in the hip. Back
Redmond kicks it inside 50 for Essendon. They'll have a crack here. It's fisted away. Front and square. Weller taken down. Peter Wright goes in. Overruns the ball. Picked up by Dan Rioli for the Suns. He doesn't find a mate to give it to. Eventually he gives it by hand back to Hewlin. He kicks it just beyond half-back, picked up by Nguyen. He's mongrel kick inside 50, cut off by Davies. Handball to Noble, handball to the run of Rioli. He put his mate in Weller under enormous pressure, tackled by Archie Roberts over the boundary line, and a little bit of stink between the two as well. And why not?
Yeah, it's good to see. The Bombers feel like they're in the game the last 7 or 8 minutes. Inside 50s, more shots the last 10 minutes or so. It's got a bit of energy, but, geez, they wouldn't want to lose too many more players, would they?
Matt Primus with you, Wednesday night footy on ABC Sports. Suns by 39. Currently 7th on the AFL live ladder. Boundary throwing. Davies picks up. Hands it to Rowell, who just ricochets away from Durham. Took contact, kept going. Slots a brilliant 40-metre pass to half forward. Reed marks 55 from goal. Kicks wide to Butterick. Juggles the mark 40 from goal. 10 in from the boundary. And Connor Butterick's going to go back and contemplate a set shot.
No, Anderson's
just limping a little in back play.
Play.
Inside of the left hand.
You're given one guy to ice with 10 minutes left in the game if you're Damien Hardwick. Is it Anderson or Rioli?
Anderson,
and sub him now.
And then Rioli straight afterwards.
Yeah. So the halftime siren has sounded. Connor Butterick will have the last kick of the second quarter. Man on the mark, 45 out. Butterick kicks from 50. It's working right to left. That misses near side for a point. 9-10, 64 to 3-4-22. Suns by 40 at the long break. Goal kickers and expert comments in a moment, but Zane's got more from the boundary.
Yeah, Noah Anderson's looking like it's starting to free up there for him, but I can tell you the Suns bench were just yelling for him to come straight off, so he's getting some high fives there and trying to be part of the team huddle, but I'd be putting treatment into him straight away. I mean, the odds of Essendon coming back from this position you think are minute.
He's just doing a few shuffles there, Q, but I think he's just cropped like studs on the inside of his ankle. So it's not a good one.
So already Guelphy subbed out with a facial issue. We assumed it was a sort of palate or nose or poke in the eye or something like that.
There's a poke in the eye, but I'm saying Goldie, I reckon he's under his nose there. I reckon that's where...
Oh, so he's got the palate issue.
I reckon.
Oh,
that's what I reckon it is.
Okay. It was a head-on-head collision with Xavier Dersma. Gold Coast led by 40 points at quarter time, and they lead by 40 points at half time. So... No, 42 points. Sorry, 42 points at half-time. Gold Coast 9 goals, 10-64 to Essendon's 3-4-22. Ben King with 3 goals. Noah Anderson 2 goals. And single goals to Ben Long, Matt Rao, Bailey Humphrey and Ethan Reid. Bombers 3, all singles. Durham in the first term and Langford and Menzies kicked back-to-back goals for Essendon in that quarter. Okay, gentlemen, as it stands, Gold Coast 7th. And a trip to Freo and the Hawks to go and play the Giants, but we've got a half to play out. And just reminding you that, that's probably the talking point in the second half at the moment, because around 30 points is that threshold for the Suns to either go into 7th or just go to 8th if they win by less than about 30.
But I don't think they'll be talking about. They just want to keep their connection going. I think they'll be upset with that second quarter and the fact that their connection inside forward 50 wasn't as sharp and as good as it was in the first quarter. So
12 marks in the first quarter, 4 in that quarter.
Yeah,
so
massive.
Bit of credit to Essendon, but
yeah, credit to Essendon. But there was certainly times there where they were going forward to centre where they just bombed it.
Yep.
And so I reckon they just, if that was a clear message, and that look how they played in that first quarter, then you replicate that in the second quarter, and it just didn't look. So they want to sharpen that up.
Yeah. Dan from Kununurra texts. He's listening in to tonight's game. It might be revolving around Gold Coast, but I just had a Google. And the sun sets in the west, hoping the pattern holds against Freo. Suns won't be sinking easy, though. Looking forward to a belter. Cheers for a great call, as always.
That's so poetic,
Dan.
I like that.
Well, see, that's what we did find during the COVID season when you had sort of people listening during the week. They had a little bit more time to sort of pen something a little bit artistic.
Thoughtful.
If you've got something good for us, we'd love it. 0437 774 774. Before the news, let's and to lock in on what we've seen in the first half. What are we seeing from the Suns that we didn't see last Friday night in Adelaide or the previous Saturday here against the Giants?
Just a lot better contest and heat on the opposition, and then we got to see their run off half-back. Their mids exploded away from contest. So especially in that first quarter, that was really evident of that. And then the way they kicked the ball inside 50. And to Essendon's credit, they were able to get the arm wrestle inside a little bit more in that second quarter. They owned the ball a lot more. They had to double their marks to what they had in the first quarter. So they played a little bit slower until they got in their front half, which took away the ability for Gold Coast to go quick off turnover. So they're able to swing the game back, a little bit of momentum back their way. But and the Suns, as we mentioned, they probably bombed and went a bit wide and had some shots from out in the boundary line. They might have kicked a couple there, but both teams kicked 2 goals each. So, Scotty would be saying, hey, that second quarter, we're going to have more of that in the third quarter. And they actually were in the game for that whole quarter rather than the first quarter looked like, it was going to blow out to 80, 90 points.
Yeah, and I love the opportunities where they got those 2 goals were from switches. Really big, aggressive, flat switches from the Suns. Just allowed them to go on the opposite side. And as you know, when you're going in one angle from, you're going inside forward 50, the numbers are always on the spaces on the fat side. So really like that dare and flair, but really would like them to get back to their craft in that in the first quarter. They really moved the ball well, and that's the style. If the numbers are where it's going at the moment, live ladder, that's how you got to play against Freo. If you're playing against Freo, you've got to lower your eyes. You've got to make their backs accountable, because you saw what Freo was able to do against the Bulldogs on Sunday. Is that they were able to come off the Pierce, the Ryans, and they'll carve you up. So I like that brand of footy that the Suns played in that first quarter. I didn't like what they did in the second quarter.
Matt Primus and Jeff White with you, half-time at Carrara and Gold Coast. September beckons for the first time in their 15th season. They lead by 42 points. And just on the Bombers as well, who are now staring down the barrel of a 13th straight defeat. If they end this year with only the 6 wins, which is now looking likely, it will be their worst performed season since their 2016 Wooden Spoon year, when they won only 3 games. They had a 6-win, 1-draw season since then, but since that season of 2016, when they won only 3 games, this would be their worst performed season since then.
A lot to go on the off-season, isn't there? The coaching, the list, obviously the high performance with their injuries. There's a hell of a lot of work to be done to build this once proud club back up to where they want to be.
Were you going to ask if that was the COVID?
No, that was the drug. That was that.
Yeah,
that year.
Yes.
Right.
When we actually did the first game here, remember Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti making his debut here as a part of the huge Essendon group that played that year.
And they had to get Mark Jamara as well. I remember that, because he was... Because they had no rucks.
They had Kelly from Geelong came to play as well. So, there was circumstances indeed going beyond football for that 3-win season back in 2016. Thanks, Whitey. Thanks, Matt. Gold Coast 9-10-64. Essendon 3-4-22. 42 points is the lead to the Suns. So as it stands, that has them 7th on the live ladder and travelling to Perth to play the Dockers, while it would see Hawthorn go to Sydney and play Greater Western Sydney. But with that threshold around about the 5-goal margin, which could change things between 7th and 8th if the Suns do go and win this game, certainly things are still to be decided in this final half of football in the home and away season for 2025. It's all going to be coming your way from Carrara on ABC Sport after we take a break with the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Sam Wilkinson. Prominent buildings across Melbourne and Victoria lit up blue this evening to pay tribute to 2 police officers killed in the state's northeast yesterday. The slain officers have been named as 59-year-old Detective Neil Thompson and 35-year-old Senior Constable Vadim Devat. The officers were killed while carrying out a search warrant at a rural property in Pawnpukka, and searches for alleged gunman Desi Freeman continue. Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen says the blue-lit buildings were intended as a show of support.
It's a very physical way that we can say to the men and women of Victoria Police, we stand with you, we support you, we care for you, we love you, particularly in this time of grief.
WA's Premier Roger Cook says the incident shows why police are concerned about sovereign citizen activists.
These people, these sovereign citizens, are a danger to our community, and they're present in every community. They not only disagree with laws, they disagree with the society to which they belong. They reject the very idea that as a member of this community, there are laws and obligations.
Victoria Police say they were met with a confronting scene when they arrived at a fatal school bus rollover west of Geelong this morning. 28 primary and secondary school students from Christian College Geelong were on board the bus when it crashed at Stonehaven. A girl died at the scene while a boy was airlifted to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Major Collision Investigation Unit Detective Senior Sergeant Paul Lynham says it's been a challenging day for all involved.
Well, this scene was very confronting when emergency services first arrived here. Any life lost on the road is one life too many, and particularly confronting and challenging when there's children involved. For the first members on scene to come across a bus with one child deceased and multiple children interested is incredibly confronting.
Former WA Liberal Senator Linda Reynolds has won her defamation case against Brittany Higgins, with hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages being awarded. David Webber has this report.
Linda Reynolds took defamation action in the WA Supreme Court over social media posts. Justice Paul Tottle found Brittany Higgins did defame her in 2022 and 2023. He's awarded $315,000 in damages, with more than $26,000 in interest. Speaking outside court, Ms Reynolds thanked her family and friends.
After serving my nation for 40 years and being fully vindicated, I really look forward to finding new opportunities to serve.
In a statement, Ms Higgins says she's grateful the matter has reached a conclusion. She accepts Ms Reynolds' feelings were hurt and she's sorry for that. She's thanked the Australian public for their compassion and understanding.
Shadow Attorney General Julian Leeser says some anti-Semitic attacks could have been prevented if the federal government listed Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organisation sooner. The IRGC will be labelled a terrorist group under Australian law after intelligence revealed it orchestrated 2 anti-Semitic attacks in Melbourne and Sydney. Mr Leeser says the coalition called on the government to take that step 2.5 years ago, which would have given authorities additional powers to deal with the incidents.
It's one of the most emotional experiences of my life to walk into the burnt-out remains of the Adass Israel Synagogue, to see the twisted metal that makes it look like something out of Germany in the 1930s, not Australia in 2024-25. It could have stopped the events at the Lewis Deli in Sydney.
The US Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff says President Donald Trump will chair a large meeting on Gaza on Wednesday. Asked if Israel should act differently to end the war and secure the return of hostages, Mr Witkoff has told Fox News the matter would be settled one way or another. He also says the White House is putting together a comprehensive plan for the post-war management of the Strip.
There needs to be a deal. There needs to be hostages sent home. There would be a commensurate amount of Palestinian prisoners who would be sent home too. Every time we see a hostage release, we see jubilation on both sides. And Hamas understands that they can have nothing to do with the government going forward.
And there's hope that former AFL player Mitch Brown's decision to openly identify as bisexual will help younger footballers struggling with their sexual identity. Now the first openly bisexual man in AFL history, Brown has told the Daily Oz that the weight of hiding his sexuality was partly why he retired at 28. Discrimination remains a huge issue, with 53% of LGBT plus youth having witnessed some form of it during sport. Swinburne University research fellow Dr. Ryan Storr says having a positive role model will make a difference.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
So Bailey Humphrey, he's only 15 out, 45-degree angle to the right. He's looking to curl it around with the left foot, and he does. Celebrates to the crowd as the Gold Coast Suns get their first goal of the second term, their 8th overall, 8-6-54 to the Bombers, 1-3-9. So Kyle Langford, we were talking about him earlier off air as one of the most underrated forwards in the game. He comes in, strikes nicely and kicks the Bombers second.
Menzies, not much of an angle, but he's going the right-footed snap from slightly left. It's executed well. Jai Menzies, it's back-to-back goals for Essendon.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Quentin Hull with the team welcoming you back to Carrara on this Wednesday night, which is the final game of the home and away season for 2025. And as it stands, the Suns are in the finals and they're 7th on the live ladder as we speak. It would see them go west to play Freo, and Hawthorn would travel to Sydney to play the Giants. But things could change in the second half. It's Gold Coast leading by 42 points at the long break. Suns 9-10-64 to the Bombers 3-4-22. That was after Gold Coast sort of jumped the Bombers and established that big lead. Essendon just held them in that second term, but it was a 40-point lead at quarter time for the Suns, kicking 7-4 to 1 straight in the opening half hour. Your texts continue to be welcome. Please send us your name and where you're texting from on 0437 774 774. In a moment, Michael Price and Jeff White and Matt Primus to go through a few more of the numbers. But just a couple of shout-outs. G'day to Billy Ray, who texts, guys, as a Gold Coast local, this Wednesday night game is reminding me very much of COVID 2022 when I attended, from memory, 19 games here, and most of them midweek. Bigger crowd tonight, though. Thank you, Billy Ray. Yeah, about 17,000 tonight, 0437 774 774. This is an unnamed text, but it's a smart one. Loving the call, listening in from China, travelling on a bullet train at 300 kilometres per hour. Fastest game in history, with a little winky emoji. If you're doing something that good... Oh, no, Darren. There we go, Darren. He did follow up. He sent me his name with the second one. Craig texts, Gold Coast win tonight, Bulldogs miss the finals. Fight Freo, get heave-ho. Okay, yep, that's where they go if they keep winning by this kind of margin. Question, has Noble got a problem for hitting Guelphy in the eye? I think that was just in the tangle of the collision, Pricey.
A football act, as they say in the classics.
Yeah. And the Traralgon Tiger is a very dedicated listener, and he's written a limerick for us.
Oh, I love a limerick.
Yep. Are you ready?
Is it clean?
Yeah, it's clean.
Okay.
It's clever.
Oh, good.
There once was a team named Gold Coast. For much of their life, like cold toast. Hardwick arrived, stopped the dive, now like a team that annoys most.
I just think Cold Toast and Gold Coast was superb. It just... He started with a bang. I love that.
Started really well, yeah.
Yeah, the end. But look, give him points.
He gets points.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Q and team. Thanks, top call as usual. Go Sun. Listening in at Broken Hill from Grant, who's from Waterloo. Please, Suns, can get a home final. No, they can't. Their chances of getting a home final were blown when they lost to Port Adelaide last week. They can only finish 7th or 8th with a win tonight. So in a bizarre way, what is the biggest night in the club's history, qualifying for finals, has only got about 16 or 17,000 because of the weird fixturing. Okay, Pricey, a few more numbers to give some fuel to Matt and Jeff's analysis of the Suns' 42-point lead.
So the Suns lead, as far as disposals go, 216 to 153. So we're talking a 63 disposal differential there. It is the tackle count that Essendon leads in, 26 to 17. Contested possessions plus 21 to the Gold Coast. Inside 50s, 37 to 19 in favour of the Gold Coast, and the hit out 16 to 12. When it comes to individuals, Noble and Rowell both have 19 disposals for the Gold Coast. But Rowell's got 10 contested, 6 tackles, 7 score involvements and a goal. Noah Anderson with 17 touches, 2 goals and 4 score involvements. For the Bombers, Dylan Shield. Well, he might not look the happiest, but he's the top possession getter for the Bombers. 17 disposals. His kicking efficiency at 100% as well. He's also had a couple of centre clearances and contested possessions of 4. Archie Roberts with 16 and Redmond has 12 for the Bombers. But Jeff White and Matty Primus,
do you reckon?
Do you think Gold Coast would be happy? Sorry about.
Do you reckon Dylan Shaw will find another home?
Oh, he's a quality footballer. Quality footballer. How old is Dylan Shield? He's 32 years old. This is his 99th game for Essendon. Won't crack a ton.
I wonder those teams that are rebuilding and a guy who can, he's a pro. He works hard both ways and. Yeah, because obviously he's moving from Essendon. Interesting watch to see what happens there for him. He's still got a lot to offer for those teams that, like North Melbourne or West Coast.
For the right team. Look what Luke Parker's done for North Melbourne as a veteran in the mid. Yeah, so look...
and he's an utter professional. Like, everything he does, his fitness off the field, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a... he hasn't been offered a contract, so it's a free swing in a way, isn't it? Yeah.
I think if you're a team that's requiring some experience, and you've got a lot of younger players, and that's why I'm kind of surprised because Essendon are in that field as well.
I might pop down and offer him the Southport Sharks one, and get him over the line.
See if he likes it up here. He could just trip over the road a bit. But look, will Damien Hard be happy with the fact that his side kicked 2 goals 6 to the Bombers 2-4 in that quarter?
No, I think you want to get back to that DNA they had in the first quarter, Pricey. That's what's, I reckon the focus now, a very healthy lead, but they've got to play their DNA footy, and they've got to play a brand that can stack up in finals.
Well, the consistency wasn't there in the second term. They certainly blew the Bombers away early and got to that 40-point lead at quarter time, but they only extended that by 2 points to make it 42 at halftime. We're about to start the second half here at Carrara. It's a beautiful night for footy. It's a Wednesday night for footy, highly unusual as this fixture made up from the missed game early in the season. We're back into the middle. Nice bounce to start again. Witt's got it down to Miller and then got it back. The big fella puts the slipper in. It's cut off there by Jackson Pryor at right half back. He flares it to the left to find the man we were talking about in Shield. He goes to the outer side of the ground, finds his teammate there. Young Angus Clark.
Chips it to Kako, who marks near the logo on the Nerang River wing. Kako kicks to half forward through the hands of Langford, but rode there by the Bombers. Perkins with the dribbler inside 50. Well, it was a rush kick more than a dribbler because Hewland claimed the mark. Bodie Hewland in the right back pocket, runner-up in the best and fairest last year, has had another excellent season, and his brother will be at top of conversation once we get to draft night. Zeke the Freak goes all right, kicks it to the wing. Humphrey off hands, wins the crumbs for the Suns, kicks around the boundary line. Miller marks, kick and a half from goal, plays on. Long takes the grab. His opponent's floundering 20 metres away from the ball. I missed that. Long kicks to a 2-on-2 in the goal mouth. Arriving knuckle from El Hawley puts it through for a point. What was Ben Long doing there to be that free?
That was Redmond. I think he rolled his ankle trying to turn.
Oh, okay.
Indeed. I don't think it was anything illegal.
Yeah.
Well, it was Ben Long, and I didn't see it, so I thought he might have sort of...
he rolled his ankle as he was trying to take off.
Absolutely.
Suns by 43, 9-11 to 3-4.
So Merritt goes to take off left and has to kick it back into the goal square to find Archie Roberts. Disposal number 17 for the young man. He's looking forward. There's nothing ahead. All one-on-ones everywhere. He kicks it to half-back. Witts punches it forward.
Bombers with numbers. McMahon got it back to McGrath. The two Macs combine. McGrath's handball cut off by Reid. He gave it to Noble, then to Tuke Miller. Tuke Miller delivers a spear to Ben King, who was spoiled by Laverde, but illegally it's high contact. And Ben King will have a shot at goal. 40 out, not even that, 35 out, slight angle to the left.
Four, Pricey. Yeah, 4.
There you go. So the most goals scored by a Sun against Essendon is 4 goals. Ben King has done that on several occasions. He holds that record along with Ben Long and a few other people. Tom Lynch as well, and Mac Andrew all have 4. So he can equal that here, Ben King. He strikes it from 40 and he strikes it beautifully. His 4th for the evening. The Suns get their 10-11-71 to 3-4-22. It's a margin of 49 points. Dane Bojak's on the boundary.
Yeah, the injuries just keep counting for Essendon because Mason Redmond's just come off and he's getting some treatment on his ankle. He's struggling on his left side, his left foot. No sign of Goldstein after half-time too. You'd think that he's out for the rest of the match. So they're going to be short on their bench, particularly if they can't get Redmond back on the field.
Which you'd suggest we're already in the area where the Suns have reached the threshold to get to 7th. I can't see how the Bombers are going to reel them in with Goldstein concussed, Redmond struggling with an ankle, Guelphy already subbed out.
Yeah, 1 left on the bench, eh?
Can't believe it.
Just sums up their year, doesn't it? Yeah. Unfortunately for the Bombers and the Bombers fans.
Ben King now with 4 goals, 10-11-71 to 3-4-22. Centre bounce, Wright's doing ruck with Witts. Taps down, does Witts to Anderson. Hands it on to Miller. Miller hands it to Rowell. Fends away from McGrath with contempt and kicks a brilliant running goal from 50. Matt Rowell. Oh boy. He might be a bull, but he's a Ferrari when he gets going too. Great goal. Rowell's second. 11-11, 77. Plays 3-4-22.
That's their best centre bounce clearance goal of the year, that one. That was well set up. Great tap from Witts down to Noah Anderson. Great lateral hand pass to Tuke Miller. Then the hand pass out to the running Rao, and then they fend off and goal outside 50. That's their centre bounce goal of the year, the Suns. Awesome to watch.
So it looks like young Unwin is back into the fray, or at least available. So they're down to 2 on the bench, with Redmond getting his ankle seen to. Goldstein off the paddock, which puts Peter Wright in the ruck for Essendon up against Jared Witts. They win this contest though. Merritt did beautifully, kicked it to half forward to Lawal. He sees a player on the lead, didn't quite hit him. It was Langford who had a metre on his opponent. And the kick just a little wide. It skidded across the Carrara turf over the boundary line and will get a throw in 40 out. There was a good opportunity there. Langford had broken away, but the kick just not in his direction. So he's going to contest this. Peter Wright against Witts again. Wright actually got it down. Merritt charges onto it. Keeps the ball in front of him under pressure. Flicked a handball out to Dersma. Through traffic. Dersma has a snap from 30. That's a ripping goal. His first, and the Bombers get their 4th. 11-11-77 to 4-4-28. And it's back to that 49-point margin.
That's brilliant, the agility, the sidestep, caught one a little bit high and then still to be able to finish. And whenever the ball's in his hand, something exciting happens, doesn't it?
That was awesome by Merritt, though. He had a bit of a wrestle, and they were on the boundary line with Rowell, and then he took off, kept his feet, kept the ball alive, gave the hands off to Dersma, and then it was a great finish. But all the effort there from Merritt.
Second year at the Bombers, and now 10 goals in the 2025 campaign for the ex-Power man Xavier Dersma. 49 points the lead to Gold Coast on what is a gorgeous Wednesday night to complete this 2025 season, which had fixture troubles when Tropical Cyclone Alfred made mess with opening round in this part of the world. Both ruckmen missed the bounce. One was shepherding the other. It's Witts. Gave away the free kick to Wright. Clearance for Essendon. Hands it to McGrath. Kick towards attacking 50. Collins knuckles it away from the pack. It clears the pack by 20 metres. El Hawley picks up for the Bombers. Hands it out the back to McGrath on the wing. Kicks it through the feet of Langford. Picked up by Noble, who kicks it to the wing, and Butterick takes the mark near the interchange gates. Plays on quickly. Jai Farah, number 50, takes the mark.
If he plays on from outside the boundary, isn't that out?
Yeah, it looked like that was the case.
There we go. So it's with Farah now. Just forward to centre wing. He kicks it into left forward pocket. He's looking for Long, and he gathers it after Witts slapped it into his hands. And he's tackled into the ground and will get a ball up about 30 metres out. It's an angle to the left. Congested forward line for the Suns. Witts got it down. McGrath got there first. He flicked it out. Archie Roberts just hacks it out of midair. It bounces towards the boundary line. Well, Noble slips on the surface. Picked up by Lawal. He's tackled. Got the handball away. No, he didn't, said the umpire. I thought he did. Play on to the advantage. The Gold Coast. Rowell to Lockie Weller. The ball smothered by Dersma, the goal kicker. And then it's a tackling effort. It's going to go to the Gold Coast. The ball was picked up there. Gee, I don't think there was much prior opportunity for Jaden Laverty to get rid of that ball, but it was a good tackle nevertheless. It's going to go to Will Powell. He's going to have a shot. He's about 45 out, slight angle to the left.
It's just too harsh, that.
He actually disposed of the ball.
He did on his way down, yeah.
Yeah, there was no prior opportunity in that. Regardless, the free kick is gone to the Suns. Now, Will Powell hasn't scored a goal in season 2025. 15 for his career. 15-26. Let's put the Mozza on. Just checking.
See if you can stop him, Pricey.
Will Powell. From just inside the paint. Boy, he hammered that. Got him. No, he's picked it. His first goal for the year. And they all get around him too. He had 4 behinds this year before that kick, Will Powell. And in his 128th AFL game scores his 16th goal. And the Suns extend their lead, 12-11-83 to 4-4-28. It's an equal game high, 55 points.
And by the goal, it's looking more likely that Fremantle will welcome Gold Coast in the first week of the finals, and the Giants will play host to the Hawks.
I don't want to pick and choose, but I love those matchups. Love those finals. They're very, very juicy. I think this final series is going to be amazing. So close, so evenly matched with all the teams that obviously you could see that on the ladder and the games that they've won.
Zano on the boundary.
Yeah, Redmond's back on. He's able to run. Hopefully he can run out the rest of the match.
Struggling with that ankle, thank you, Zane. Witts tries to tap it to himself, but Wright pinches his pocket. Clearance to the Bombers, kick to half forward. Free kick goes to Unwin, who was being held by Farah. Oh, and then the Suns give it to the wrong bloke.
Oh, no, the umpire.
And there's no 50-metre penalty.
I don't understand why not.
Well, the umpire pointed to the player, but then his teammate put into the one that was receiving.
Yeah, it was given to Perkins instead of Unwin. Anyway, no 50, which you can sort of gnash teeth about if you want. Unwin kicks deep to full forward, almost a mark to Durham. 2 grabs, then bumped.
How did he
did
come out
well
with
to
that?
gather that. Flanders, I thought, knocked him off the ball, Jeff, but he got it back. It's rushed through for a point. He's having a crack, Durham.
Oh, it doesn't.
Suns by 54.
Right, every time he does. Even at training he does.
12-11-83 to 4-5-29.
I do love the way this guy's come about this year, Pricey. Joel Jeffrey.
Oh, Joel Jeffrey.
He has been outstanding.
Some kind of player.
He's held that position the whole year.
Played his 50th game last week against Port Adelaide.
It's been fantastic.
He gets it back to Collins in the goal square, who flares it out to the right. Now Bodie Hewlin just forward of right half back. He gives it by hand to McAndrew. That's a beautiful kick inside to the corridor. Hewlin receives, then gives it to Ainsworth by foot, kicks it into the path of Farah on the lead, and he takes the mark 40 out, 45-degree angle to the right.
Well, 2 metres 20 centimetres of McAndrew with a subtle across the body.
Yeah, brilliant. And I love how they come back to the corridor, but you only play what comes in front of you, and you've still got to execute those skills, and that was just well done. And there it is again, lowering their eyes, hitting inside forward 50.
So Jai Farah, he'll kick this from just inside the paint of 50. From Halls Creek. Wangaratta via Adelaide. He launches it and pushes it right and one behind. His second for the evening. 84 plays 29. It's now a game high 56 points. No, we're back to that 55-point margin. My math.
Which is, as I often say, Michael, why I pursued a career where English was more required than mathematics. I feel you. Perkins with the kick in. Wright presents and takes the mark at right half back. Big Pete, number 20 for the Dons. A number of players who haven't been able to really get through a decent complement of games this year. Kicks it across the half-back line. Dersma marks, transfers to the wing. Redmond's, he's gone up and taken a mark and hurt his ankle again. Yeah. Courageous effort from Mason Redmond. Good grab, but he's landed and twisted his ankle once more. So he gets up, is limping. Great courage from Mason Redmond. He does enough to be able to kick it backwards to Laverty at centre half-back. Now he tries to run it out. Laverty kicks it to right half-back. Pryor takes the grab for Essendon as they horseshoe from the Nerang River wing to the broadcast wing. Blackiston, the next man in the chain, marks it on the wing. Now kicks Essendon to attacking 50 and a big pack. Off hands, Powell does the roving, tackled immediately by Menzies. Ball up 45 metres from Essendon's goal. Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. I'm Quentin Hull. I'm calling with Michael Price. Jill Ruckman, your experts, Jeff White and Matthew Primus, and Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Ball thrown up 45 from the Bombers' goal, and Noah Anderson with the clearance and just weaves his way through traffic. Got the handball to Ainsworth, then received it back, did Anderson. He kicks it just beyond centre wing, out of side, going back with the flight. Right. Archie Roberts, that's a really good mark. Oh, don't tell me he's twisted his ankle. No, he's hurt his wrist or something there. He's holding his right arm and
right forearm or hands or something.
Oh, he's ringing that. This is painful to watch sometimes, and I'm just not talking about the football. I'm talking about the injury toll as he goes to kick it wide on the lead, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Oh, that's hard.
No, it was out of bounds on the full.
It's 5 metres in front of his player. That was the teammate was leading to the ball.
Yeah, so Bodie Hewlin will receive the free kick and or charity case, whatever you want to call it, along the boundary line. He kicks it just to the paint of 50, right half forward. Big pack, whistle on play. It's going to go to the Bombers, and it's Blakiston who's going to receive the free kick for being held in that pack.
Suns 55 to the good. Blackiston, just his 11th game, mid-season pick-up, kicks it out on the full, back from whence it came.
They just went to Scotty, the broadcasters, on the previous kick. I bet you they'll go back to him.
Brad's having a tough night.
Yeah.
He's had a tough season. It's been a tough couple of seasons for the Bombers. Bodie Hewlin with the inbound. True halfway, Nerang River wing on this gorgeous Wednesday night. Hewlin, boundary-hugging kick towards the pocket. King flies in the pack, couldn't mark it. Reed's claiming it. I didn't think he had first bite. Umpire's buying, paid the mark to Reed. Did he have first touch?
Probably third or fourth.
Silence. It's not good on radio, Jim.
We're waiting for the replay. I reckon he got a hold of it.
Yeah, that is a good call from the ump. It was to the far pocket. Yeah, Ethan Reed. Okay, man on the mark. 45 from goal, a couple of metres in from the boundary. Keeping Jed Walder out of the team at the moment. A man of the Gold Coast development. Already kicked one tonight. Right foot kick. That's a very good kick. It's across the face, though, for a point. Gold Coast 12-13, 85. Lead Essendon 4-5, 29. 56 the margin for the Suns. That's got them in 7th at the moment.
And that is a game high. The Bombers to bring the ball back in. The former Lion, Jackson Pryor, son of Michael, former Bomber, kicks it beyond half back, and it's taken there against McMahon by Sam Collins. An imposing figure. He's forward of centre wing. Bites off a kick to his right. Finds Noah Anderson just inside the centre square. He goes even further right, and he's found Daniel Rioli, who launches from 50. He launches a missile. That is superb. Welcome back, Daniel. The crowd love that. And the Suns extend their lead to 62 points. 13-13, 91 to 4-5, 29. We've played 16 minutes of this third quarter.
Great, good patience there. I like the way that they looked. They didn't kick towards the line. They kicked off the line, that switcher kick, but It's got me thinking. Number 25, the Gold Coast Suns, first final against Freo.
It's awesome, isn't it? Sam
I
Collins.
think it's going to be, he's going to be fired up.
You know what? I'm just dreaming of a contest between Sam Collins
and Voss.
And Patrick Voss.
Yes. Bring it on.
Oh, that's worth the price of admission by itself.
I'll have to double check. Did Lockie Weller play a final for Freo before he moved? Because there's not many that have played finals. John Noble, of course, has.
And
Rioli, who kicked that last goal. Benny Long, one for the Saints, maybe?
Yeah, he might have.
Don't know whether Jared Witts played any for Collingwood. No. All of those stories to roll out this week. Kako with the clearance in the centre bounce for Essendon. Rush kick inside 50. There's the aforementioned Collins. Almost marked but dropped it. Picked up by Merritt of Essendon. 40 from goal. Hand pass to Menzies. Great smother from Jeffrey. Suns ball. Ricochet to Humphrey. Hands it to Flanders. To Ainsworth now in the middle of the field. Evades a tackler. Hands it to Jeffrey. They're running in waves off half back. Jeffrey's kick. Well, it was slid into by Long and ricocheted off his chest. Turnover. Taken by Sheila of the Bombers on the wing. Hand passes to Lawal. Back to Sheila. Was at his toes. He dropped it. Tried to tow it. Fumbles it again. Oh, that's a terrible looking passage of play. He did tackle Humphrey in the end. But, look, it was a tough sort of rumbling passage. But there was a fumble or two there. That was, not a pretty passage for Dylan Shield. Ball up right half forward for Essendon.
It's 60 from their goal. A beautiful piece of ruck work. Wits into the path of Noah Anderson. Has a bounce. Runs it to the wing. Handball to Touk Miller. Touk Miller flares it out to the right. He kicks it over to Butterick. Butterick chips it inside 50. Overcooks the kick. Well read by Redman on one leg. And he takes a defensive mark. Immediately kicks it now. And finds Perkins. Still inside 50. Has a bounce. He kicks it just beyond centre wing. Well, it would look like El Harley put his hands into Witt's back, but he ended up tracking the ball backwards. Kicks a high bomb towards Roberts. Spoiled. And the Suns have it now. Handball to Noble. Handball to McAndrew. He gives it back to his skipper.
And it looks like the Bombers have now realised that they've tried hard, but what's the point from here?
Over the back.
Humphrey marks on the wing, kicks it to half-forward. Redmond spoils Long.
That is bravery from Redmond.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. And they're doing their bit, the Bombers, but you can just sense that they're men down, they're tired. You also need to remember they're playing their second game in 5 days.
Yes.
Oh, yep.
From 6 days, from Thursday of last week to Wednesday of this week. Ball tossed in. Weller roves the pack. 45 out, 2 steps, bang. Near side miss. 13, 14, 92. Plays 4-5, 29, 63 the lead for Gold Coast. We're 19 and a half into the third quarter. So Mitch Turner's listening in keenly from the West. Weller didn't play in the finals when Freo made the finals in 2015.
Oh, they've turned it over here from the kick in. Fiorini has it, gathers and has a snap. Oh dear, it's falling apart for the Bombers, but the Suns putting the pedal down now. 14-14, 98 to 4-5, 29. We've got up to a game-high 69-point margin.
Yeah, just that territory battle is killing them. They're just getting overwhelmed. They're trying to defend really hard, and they are, but they just can't get the ball over halfway, and eventually the damn wall's going to burst, and there's some tired defenders down there, some tired midfielders. And
I'm getting internet reports coming in, Hawks fans scanning flights to Sydney. It's almost locked in now, isn't it?
Yes.
Suns fans not turning up tonight thinking, can I get to Perth? Can I get to Perth for our first ever final? It's looking that way.
Yep. I think a positive from that too is that a turnover inside forward 50, Matty. They've had a lot of turnovers between the arcs of Suns tonight, but that forward pressure is really important. They've got to be able to be on their toes and then put some scoreboard pressure on.
Centre bounce with the Suns having kicked 5 goals to 1 in this third quarter. Shield with the clearance for Essendon, defensive side of the pack. Hands it to right, hands it to left half back for Roberts. Roberts kicks it to Clark. On a 4 rising star, noms for the year for Essendon, Angus Clark. He's got a big future ahead of him, just his 14th game. Chips it around the wing, but misses his target over the head of Shield. It pitches and rolls out of play. Boundary throw in. Yep, so as it stands, the 2 elimination finals are Greater Western Sydney versus Hawthorn and Fremantle at home to Gold Coast.
Boy, wow. They're going to be a couple of crackers. Throw in between wing and left half forward for the Bombers. Slapped down into the path of Davies. He's immediately tackled to the ground by Peter Wright, and will do it all again. Umpire will ball it up. Peter Wright in the ruck. Of course, Todd Goldstein hasn't reappeared after a bit of a head clash. Witts gets it down now to Rowell. Rowell handball to the left to Powell. Powell gives it now to Flanders. Comes through traffic. Now it's with Anderson. Anderson has a bounce forward of the centre circles. He kicks long inside 50. Farrell was the target off the knuckles of Redmond, and Nguyen tracks it over the boundary line next to the behind post. He's pushed in the back. He's going to get a free kick. So what's the Suns crowd they're cheering everything at the moment. The mascot's getting a cheer on the scoreboard as Nguyen plays on from the back pocket.
Kicks a long ball to half back. Off the hands of the pack, Al Hawley roves. Nice piece of footy. Gives the hand pass from Durham to Menzies, and then on to Langford. Kick inside 50. Wright's got a couple to beat. Powell's wrestling with him. It goes to Deck. Wright makes a tackle on Fiorini, who gathered the ball. He's locked up, no problem. Ball up. And so interesting, we had Wayne Campbell, the general manager of football from the Gold Coast Suns, with us pre-game. As the ball's tossed in the air, Wright taps down to Davies, though, who plays for the Suns. His kick doesn't really clear the congestion. Witts hand pass it to Merritt. Merritt's under pressure, can't get a kick to it. Rowell picks up, rush clearance, but straight to McMahon of Essendon. Takes the mark, 65 from goal, this young forward Liam McMahon. Kicks it to the paint of 50 for Clark. Clark marks 10 in from the boundary at right half forward. Ben Long did play for the Saints in the COVID season elimination final, so those little bits dripping through. Kick towards a big pack on the goal square. Knuckle through for a point. Gold Coast 14-14, 98. Essendon 4 goals, 6, 30. 68 points the lead to the Suns.
Well, they bring it back in very, very quickly. Powell gets it to centre wing. It bounces to Ethan Reid. Deft little tap to Miller. Miller gave it to Anderson by hand. He managed to get a kick away with enormous pressure. Ainsworth into the path of King. Will it bounce for him? It does. He dribbles it through. He's got one for the thumb. 5 goals, the most ever scored by a Sun against the Bombers. Ben King breaks his own record. He now holds it. Well, he holds it again. Let's put it that way. He's done it about 5 times now against Essendon. He's kicked 4 or more. 15 goals, 14, 104 to 4, 6, 30. 74 points the lead to the Suns. 24 gone, third term.
I was thinking it, and Wayne has texted it. G'day to Wayne from Elizabeth in South Australia. What's the chance that the airfares for Perth and Sydney have a significant increase this week?
There wouldn't be any gouging.
You can't really get, Melbourne to Sydney, such a regular flight path. So you can't really get that one.
You don't reckon they will, Q?
Well,
they're watching right now.
And because
airlines are watching right now.
Because you can only get, 25,000 into the showground anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think they're probably...
Enjoy the drive up the coast.
Yeah.
The drive would be great.
Yep. Well, who was it? Remember when was it Noah Answorth drove Dane Zorko's parents to Melbourne because they couldn't get a flight to the 2023 grand final? All of those stories. Miller with the clearance for the Suns. Pokes it to attacking 50, but Clark intercepts and marks for Essendon. Hands it on to Redmond. Redmond's kick is on the head there of Perkins. Roberts couldn't take the mark, but butters up to win the footy. Chips it to Menzies, spoiled by Jeffrey. He's been a story, Joel Jeffrey, this year. Knocks it out of play. Only played 12 games last year, Joel Jeffrey. He's played every game in 2025. Boundary throw-in.
I was just watching Redmond pick himself off the ground. I know he might have a big couple of days coming up, but geez, he'll sleep well tonight. He's exhausted. The amount of work he's doing to help his teammates.
He's now moved up. He's the third highest possession winner for Essendon. He's got 17. The throw-in happens. Witts into the path of Rowell. Tackled off the ball. Kako gets involved. Grabbed it. Handball backwards to McGrath. Under pressure. He hits Perkins on the wing. Perkins to Lawal. Lawal to Kako. They're 60 from goal. Kako kicks it to the top of the square, looking for Durham. Over the back of the pack. Flanders chased there. And he gets the kick away and hits Ainsworth. He's still inside defensive 50. Tuke Miller all by himself, short of centre wing on the outer side. He sizzles a pass and puts it to a contest. At advantage, the Essendon player in Blackiston. Now they have the ball out of side.
Merritt, 1-2 hand pass with Dersma. Hands it infield to Clark, just forward of the wing for the Dons. Hands it to Shield, hands it into the centre square for Perkins. Gets onto his right boot. Perkins kicks inside 50. Lead offered by McMahon. Andrew with the spoil. Ricochet out the back, falls to the Suns. Blonde-headed Bodie, who hand passes to Bailey Humphrey at left half back. Chips it to Big Mac, just shy of the wing. Hand pass infield back to Humphrey. Hand passes to Weller. Weller hands it to Fiorini on halfway. Chips short to Miller. Marks plays on, hands it to Rao. Rao chips to Humphrey. Humphrey marks 48 metres from goal.
That's that run and carry from the back half for the Suns as they love. They just go at the defender, take up the grass, and then are able to give the hand pass off.
Bailey Humphrey. I'm not going to go with the whole made for September, but, you know, guy you want to watch in September. Gets his chance this year, Bailey Humphrey. He was basically part of the exchange that saw Isaac Rankin go to Adelaide. That high pick was used by the Suns to get this young man. 51 metres out, it's a bad hook. That time with the kick. Went for it, cleared the distance easy, but it's a point. 75 the lead to Gold Coast at 15-15, 105 to 4-6-30. We're 28 minutes into the third quarter.
Zach Merritt plays on from the goal square. Find his mate Dylan Shield inside 50. Kicks it to the outer wing. Dersma versus Flanders. Oh, Flanders knocked Dersma out of the way. Gathered the ball. Handball to Rioli. Rioli to Fiorini. Flicked it back to Rioli, who got around Lual. He lowers his eyes. He couldn't quite hit the target in Reid, who fouled Nguyen in the process of trying to get the ball. Nguyen will have the free kick in the left back pocket for the Bombers. He plays on. Kicks it just outside the paint. Finds Shield. Shield gives it back to Nguyen inside defensive 50.
And the first AFL player of Vietnamese origin kicks to Clark in the pocket. Dropped the mark, but throw and spoil from Farah. Free kick to Clark.
But Harvey could be like that, trying to break down, even though he gave away a free kick, the intent was there to try and break down and try and get the turnover inside their forward 50.
Well, absolute opposite motivations, Whitey, aren't we, at the moment? Suns players ensuring they get a game next week in their first ever final. Bombers just trying not to be hurt for the start of off-season. Oh, kick went to Witchard, marked it. Peter Wright gets a free kick, though. Crowd didn't like that. There was obviously an earlier Shepherd in the contest. So Wright, with his right boot, kicks a high ball towards right half forward. McMahon flew, couldn't complete the mark, having got first hand. Collins Roves is tackled ferociously by Durham. Ball up on attacking 50. If you are just joining us, Suns set the marker in the first quarter, kicked 7 goals to 1, led by 40 at quarter time, 42 in a scrappy second term. That was 42 at half time, now it's 75.
6 goals for this quarter so far as the stoppage is disrupted there by Rowell. There's been a whistle on play. It's going to be for a hold, and it's going to go against the Bombers. Goes to Lockie Weller against Archie Roberts, who dragged him to the ground. So Lockie Weller, long one down the line. Ethan Reid in best position. Went for the juggle, couldn't quite pick it up. Blackiston did well at ground level. Then the big blind turn around Will Powell. He shot the handball in front of Merritt. Couldn't, just went a little wide. Picked up by Weller for the Suns. They're going to go by hand. Will Powell to Rowell. They come back to the logo. Fiorini tackled off it. Good pressure. And it's with the Bombers again. Through Peter Wright, back to Merritt. He goes with his left foot to Kako into corridor. He sees a man on the lead. Hits him nicely. It's going to be with Menzie. Menzie on the paint of 50. Well, he's outside his distance by the looks of things. He's not very confident in going back for a shot. He's looking inboard. So Mac Andrews standing the mark on the 50. Menzie on the boundary. Now he comes in, unloads and kicks it to the top of the goal square. Big pack, fists it forward. Will Powell couldn't take it through. Oh, it's a tackling effort there. I think it's Roberts underneath all of that. He's done well, the young man. It's going to be McMahon, in fact, who comes up with the ball, gives it to the umpire, will throw it up.
Tosses it in the air, 30 from Essendon's goal. Right with the palm down. Doesn't really have a rover. Falls at his feet. They're like hungry hippos there, trying to all snap at the balls. No one really gets it. So the ump comes in. There's another go. Right with the first hand once more. Watch out, free kick, Pete. Free kick, Big Pete. Our ruckman can help. What was that for? Matt,
still trying to work that out, mate.
Yep.
He paid it for grabbing.
Mac Andrews got the hand out, gesticulating.
As backmen do.
Well, it's actually not going to be Peter Wright's free kick. It was obviously not. It was a block.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a block on Menzies, and that's fair enough. That's a very good call from the umpire.
It was, and Mac Andrew had his back to the ball, wasn't even watching the contest, so easy one for the ump to pay.
On the three-quarter time siren, John Menzies looking to kick Essendon's 5th goal of the night. Nice right foot drop punt. And the small ripple of applause from Bombers fans at Carrara. A little bit of joy on the three-quarter time hooter. But a dominant term from Gold Coast. Went to half-time with a 42-goal lead, and they go to three-quarter time with a 69-point lead. Gold Coast 15-15, 106 to Essendon's 5-6-36. For the Suns, Ben King has kicked 5 goals. 2 for Noah Anderson, 2 for Matt Rowell. Single goals for Daniel Rioli, Bailey Humphrey, Ethan Reid, Ben Long and Will Powell. And Braden Fiorini. Correct. And for Essendon, they're all singles. Kyle Langford, Sam Durham, Xavier Dersma, Jai Menzies. Have I missed one? Menzies, that's his second goal.
Yes.
2 for Menzies. Yep. Thank you, Michael. 2 for Menzies. Singles for Langford, Durham and Dersma. So a 69-point lead for Gold Coast at three-quarter time. It's still not locked in, but looking more likely than not that the threshold of about 5 goals will be breached by the Suns to get ahead of Hawthorn on percentage, which would mean they would finish 7th and the Hawks would finish 8th, which means it would be Giants v Hawks, Dockers v Suns. But we've got half an hour before we can confirm that. It's three-quarter time at Carrara. Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport.
Hi, I'm Corbin Middlemass.
And I'm Ed Cowan.
He played Test cricket for Australia.
And Ed Cowan gets his first Test match century.
And he commentates the cricket.
Stark tries again. He rocks in straight through it. Together, we're giving you your weekly cricket conversation.
We're pulling apart the biggest stories in the sport and delivering them to you each and every week.
It's called the Grandstand Cricket Podcast. Find it on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Centre bounce, Wright's doing ruck with Witts. Taps down, does Witts to Anderson. Hands it on to Miller. Miller hands it to Rowell. Bends away from McGrath with contempt and kicks a brilliant running goal from 50. Matt Rowell. Oh boy. He might be a bull, but he's a Ferrari when he gets going too.
Peter Wright against Witts again. Wright actually got it down. Merritt charges onto it. Keeps the ball in front of him under pressure. Flicked a handball out to Dersma. Through traffic. Dersma has a snap from 30. That's a ripping goal. And it's back to that 49-point margin. Will Powell. From just inside the paint. Boy, hammered that. Got him. No, he's picked it. His first goal for the year. And they all get around him too. He had 4 behinds this year before that kick. Will Powell finds Noah Anderson just inside the centre square. He goes even further right. He's found Daniel Rioli, who launches from 50. He launches a missile. That is superb. Welcome back, Daniel. The crowd love that. And the Suns extend their lead to 62 points. Powell gets it to centre wing. It bounces to Ethan Reid. Deft little tap to Miller. Miller gave it to Anderson by hand. He managed to get a kick away with enormous pressure. Ainsworth into the path of King. Will it bounce for him? It does. He dribbles it through. He's got one for the thumb. 5 goals. The most ever scored by a Sun against the Bombers. Ben King breaks his own record.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
15 years in the making, and it looks like Gold Coast will finally feature in September football. Welcome back to Carrara. The final quarter of the home and away season is upon us. My name is Quentin Hull. Gold Coast has a 69-point lead over Essendon. Gold Coast 15-15, 105 to the Bombers 5-6. 36. And I'm going to do a little bit of behind the scenes here. I've even had one of those little brain moments when I'm writing in my scrapbook at 3/4 time. We were talking about I'll write Fremantle instead of Essendon.
There you go.
You know, where your brain sort of just moves forward.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's Suns v Dockers and Giants v Hawks. I'm calling with Michael Price, Jeff White and Matt Primus are with you. So just repeating, around that 30-point threshold, if the Bombers can't narrow it to that, it means that the Suns go west and the Hawks go to Sydney. I'm looking for something else to sort of keep us going in this quarter, and my memory's taken back to a year which I can't know off the top of my head, but I remember it was Greater Western Sydney coming here to play Gold Coast. And I was thinking about what's the storyline for the day when they were both, and said, oh, well, Gary Ablett Jr. might need a big game here to win the Brownlow, and he did. Like, he had a huge game and got 3 votes in that game to win his second Brownlow. And I'm just wondering whether Noah Anderson's sort of sitting back there looking at the board and sees 26 possessions and think, here's 30 minutes of free vote time. Never know.
Yeah, and I was wondering, sorry, I'm going to probably step on Zane. I'll let Zane go with that.
Okay, Zane.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out who's been subbed out, but Rogers is out there, guys, and I'll try and let you know who it is.
I think it's Bailey Humphrey.
It is, yeah, Bailey's. He's just put the jersey, the vest on.
I think we're going to wonder who they were going to look after, but he's obviously come back from an injury too, so they've put him on ice and getting him ready for finals like you want, Q.
And those playing at home, the greatest winning margin from Gold Coast over the Bombers is 61 points. Currently, the margin 69.
Okay.
Looking at the votes you're talking about, Rouse sort of saying to Noah Anderson, just hold my beer.
Yeah. So Rouse 27, Anderson 26, Shield the best for the Bombers with 25, Roberts 22. Last quarter of the home and away season, Gold Coast and Essendon, Suns by 69, Michael Price.
Well, Witt slipped over. It was Blackiston in the ruck, and it's Anderson with the clearance gave the handball to Rowell. He gave it to Will Powell. Launches inside 50. King did the body work, couldn't quite take the mark. Pryor got the handball away. Laverty now off a step. His kick cut off. It's Alex Davies who takes the mark for the Gold Coast. He's 45 out. He's a slight angle to the right. An extracting kick affected by a tackle. So Alex Davies will have a ping at goal. He hasn't scored one this year. 10 goals in his career.
And there you talk about someone who's taken the opportunity, Pricey. When he came in, he was, the talk about the trade, all that sort of stuff. He's really taken his spot.
Game number 6 for the year, Alex Davies. That's a beautiful kick. You want to impress the coach. That kind of kick is something that'll do it for you. The Gold Coast getting their 16th goal, 16-15, 111 to the Bombers, 5-6-36. 75 points the margin. And we've just started the final term. ABC Sport on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, well.
And it'd be great to be a player like Davies when you're contested inside, and that's all you can really play at AFL level. And you come in, you're surrounded by Anderson and Rowell and Miller. Just beautiful way to be able to just, no pressure, just come in and find your way as you come along. And he's had a terrific month.
Can you see any way into the squad for David Swallow?
I think David's, I think he hurt his knee a couple of weeks ago in the VFL. I'm not sure, not long term, but I think he's hurt his knee. So I think he's stuck on 249 games. Q?
Yeah, and as the remaining original Sun, it would be interesting if he could get a game in their first final. Centre bounce, good work from Blackiston over the top of Witts, but tapped it down to Anderson. Puts up a bomb towards half forward. Get under that and play fair. Reed crashed the pack, couldn't take the mark. Ricochets to Rowell. He's tackled by Pryor. Hand pass turned over. Taken by Redmond, who's kept on battling. Hands it to Shield. Clearing kick from half back. Nice mark. Menzies in a 2-on-2.
Great mark.
He's tried hard. Edge of the centre square. 70 out. Kicks deep. And McMahon couldn't take the mark. Robes his own crumb. Hand passes to the pocket. Durham runs out of room. Hands back in field. It beats McMahon. Cleaned up off the deck by Collins of the Suns. Hand passes to Noble. Hands it to Andrew. Hands to Powell, who runs the pocket. And Durham gets in his way. He tried to link up with a hand pass over the top. Durham did well to knock it out. Boundary throw in with the Bombers still in attack.
So they're putting the pressure on. Still, the Bombers, they haven't given up. Boy, they've been under the pump injury-wise throughout the season and in this game. Guelphy already subbed out in the second term. The veteran Goldstein taken out of the game in the third quarter as well. The throw in at the ground level, picked up by Davies. He kicks it in the Ethan Reed direction, shorter centre wing. It goes over to his head and Redmond. Nicely picked up by Laverty. Handball forward to Archie Roberts, who's tried hard all night. This is disposal number 23 for him. Inside 50, floating back. Will Powell in front of the pack with a one clunk, good defensive mark.
Yeah, we talk about Jeffrey and Noble and, and Rioli, but he's the underrated player down that back line there. Will Powell.
Chips it short to Weller, who will be the second of the ex-Dockers to play for the Suns against his old team in Gold Coast's first final. Kicks back defensively to Andrew. Kicks to left half back. Rioli's got space. Gathers the bouncing ball. It's been a good return after a 5-week layoff with a leg injury. Hand pass infield to Collins. Just monsters his way clear of McMahon. Brushed him off as if he was a mosquito in the summertime. Hands it to Hewlin. Hands it off to Miller. Miller kicks to left half forward and Jakey Rogers, the sub, gets his first touch. Marks and chips short to Flanders. 60 metres out, left half forward. Centering kick to King. And King takes the mark on the lead. 40 from goal. Slight angle to the left.
Yeah, beautiful movement. That was like the first quarter movement, wasn't it? The handball overlap, a bit of switch, and then lower the eyes and hit King on the lead and lining up for 6 or 7. Pricey? Sorry, mate.
Number 6 if he kicks it.
6.
That'll be something that Freo will be watching really closely. There's a number of times they've been stuck on that left forward, outside forward on the boundary line. They've just darted it inside to King. He's had a lot of lane work come through there.
This will be a good kick. Man on the mark's 40 out. Toughish angle to the left. King from 48 metres. Right boot. High. Handsome. 6 goals for Ben King. 81 points is the lead to Gold Coast. The glass ceiling's about to burst. They're headed for finals. 17-15, 117 to 5-6-36.
They just look, when he's leading, and when he leads strong, so it creates a lot of space behind. So if the defender is right on him, there is always space behind that they can kick into. So the way he leads, it's so hard, and that's why it's not a passive lead. It's a very aggressive lead, like the Jezza Camerons of the AFL, and it's so hard to stop and so good running at full pelt and marking it.
And the other piece of interest for those playing at home, Q, Ben King has now equalled his best ever with 6. The most ever scored by a Sun is 8 from Tom Lynch against Carlton a few years ago. They'll win this clearance to the Suns. Will Powell has a bounce. Oh, he's full of confidence. He's tackled to the ground. That's a beauty. Holding the ball. Essendon free kick. Merritt grabs it and takes the advantage. Plays on by Handel Langford. He puts it forward now. Gets it to Unwin. The sub activated. He kicks inside 50. Peter Wright. Triple grabber. No, he couldn't get it on the third grab against Mac Andrew. And off hands, it'll go over the boundary line in the right forward pocket for the Bombers. It'll be a throw in.
About the only man who had the reach being outpointed by the flight there to beat Peter Wright. Mac Andrew did a good job. By the way, Price, he put the footy away. There's no kick to kick after the game tonight. No kick to kick. Boundary throw in. Rioli out the back of the pack. Rose for the Suns. He's in the pocket. Hands it to the paint. Hoping for Hewland, who's pressured off it by Durham. Back over the line. Throw in. Right half forward for the Dons.
I asked the question, why? We're not playing finals next week.
It's a school night.
It's grounds. Come on.
The school night. They're looking after the kids who need to be in bed.
Come on. It's their last home game of the year.
It's a bit silly. They do have to turn this into cricket mode pretty quickly. Roberts has slung off the stoppage, but got a hand pass through Kako to Unwin from 60. Kicks a bomb into attack for the Bombers. Dersma flew, couldn't take the mark. You win with the tap down to Langford, who will chip backwards to the wing for Redmond, who's got a sore ankle, but he's battled on Mason Redmond. Kicks infield to the bullseye for Shield, and Dylan Shield has got it. His last moments as a Bomber, the ex-Giant. Short pass back to Redmond. 7th year at Essendon, Dylan Shield, All-Australian in 2017. Redmond chips to the leading Langford. Nice pass. Langford with a chest mark. True centre half forward, 50 out.
I'm really looking forward next year with Langford, Caddy, Kako. You know, they have their players all healthy. good pre-season. I love this player. He is such a good player, Langford. He's just injuries this year. But when he's fit and firing, he's so important for Essendon Footy Club.
Yeah, only 9th game of the year. Doesn't go for goal. Decides to kick it to a man who's not going to be much closer. Pryor takes the mark. But Jackson Pryor's got a pretty nice boot. Man on the mark's 48 metres out. Dad Michael was a Don, but and Docker too, fancy. But Pryor started his career at Brisbane.
Definitely in Perth.
Or maybe an Eagle. Here's Pryor with his left boot. 51 metres out. He's hooked it. Good kick though, Jeff. Just a point. Didn't miss by much to the right. 80 the lead to Gold Coast. 17-15, 117 to 5-7, 37. Quick inbound. Hewland's got it in the left back pocket.
80-point margin. Get kicked to the outer side. Great body work by Rogers, the injected sub for the Gold Coast. Handball forward to Long. He's got plenty of time. 70 from goal at left half forward. Kicks it to King. King, double grab. No, not paid. Touched.
Over the line, yeah, out of bounds.
Over the line. So the second grab was over the line.
Yeah.
Crowd don't like it. Let's have a look at the replay on the screen. The first grab, well, maybe it wasn't even the first touch was his, but because the second grab was inside the boundary. Anyway, left forward pocket, throw in. Witts slaps it down, picked up by McGrath for the Bombers. He kicks it to the outer wing. Mac Andrew drops what he might have taken after good body work. McMahon against Collins did well, good strength. Kicked it forward to Durham. Durham under pressure. It's a sky ball. It's a wide ball. It's out of bounds on the full. Free kick at left half back to John Noble for the Gold Coast Suns.
Won't he have some September redemption on his mind? Having been left out of the Magpies campaign in 2023. Triggered that move to Gold Coast here. Noble with a kick to a pack beyond the wing. Out the back. Ben Long does the roving for the Suns. Hands it to Rogers. Chip pass. Beautiful from the outside of the boot. He was 70 out, sliced that precisely for Farah. Takes the mark, 40 from goal.
That's what he's renowned for. Little Jakey Rogers, he's so good at identifying where the space is and putting the forward into that area.
It's like if you watch Q Sports and the way that the players can get the cue ball to work.
Yeah, for the next shot.
Hit it the right way.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of skill off the edge of the right boot from Jake Rogers. So Farah's had a couple of set shots but hasn't kicked a goal. Slight angle left, man on the mark 40 metres out. Right foot kick. Jai Farah joins the Suns party. 86 points the lead. It's as emphatic as you could have hoped for from Gold Coast's perspective. 18-15, 123 to 5-7, 37. The Dons had better be careful here. Suns might turn up on them.
Yeah, they're getting close. I would say the overs is looking pretty good with the ton. I was just going through Ben King's stats. He's 68-19 for the year. That accuracy is amazing. We've seen tonight kick him from in close, but also boundary line, outside 50, outside 45. It's an amazing accuracy for
he's
key forward.
And some of them have been snapshots too throughout the year.
Yep. They're not just all marked.
Yeah.
He's got the best goal accuracy in the league, better than Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, right.
But he's absolutely phenomenal effort this year for Ben King. But the Suns, 86 points. This is their highest winning margin against the Bombers as they get this clearance at the back of the pack. Rowell yet again. The handball to Jeffrey. Jeffrey forward over the top there to Reed. Jeffrey got it back by hand. He kicks long towards the square. Farah! He dropped the chest mark as the ball hits the deck. Towed off the deck by Ainsworth. Umpire says yes, another one for the Gold Coast Suns. The procession continues. 19-15, 129 to 5-7, 37. 92 points the margin. They might turn up here. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Is that 12 goal kickers for the Suns? They certainly have all had their share. Mason Redmond, he just looks absolutely desolate down here on the bench. I doubt they're going to put him back out there. He looks in so much pain. Todd Goldstein has come back out of the change rooms and is on the bench as well. He just put his arms around him and said, don't worry about it, mate. You've tried your best, but I doubt we'll see Redmond again tonight.
Well, the Dons have avoided the triple-figure margin just this year. Dogs beat them by more than 90 twice, by 91 points and 93 points. Geelong beat the Bombers by 95. So as it stands, it's the fourth time a margin greater than 90 points for Essendon, but they haven't lost by more than 100 this year.
Zano is right. That's 12 individual goal kickers for the Gold Coast Suns.
And Ben Ainsworth, the latest of them, to reach 21 goals for the season. Centre bounce. Powell is tackled high by Llewell. Play on to advantage. Hand pass given to Weller. Hands to Miller. Hands it on to Jeffrey running off half back. Kicks the Suns into attack again. Long flies. Can't mark. Rode by Butterick. Hands it on to Ainsworth. His hand pass is chopped off though by Dersma. Hand passes to Nguyen. Hands it out the back. Pryor's left foot kicks a sizzler. But along the deck straight to Anderson of the Suns. 60 out. Hands it to Miller. 52 from goal. Kick to the pocket. That a mark to Merritt or free kick?
Chop in the arms.
Yeah, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. They've given the free kick. So Merritt in the left back pocket. Chips in field to Pryor.
Pryor immediately uses the left foot to effect. Goes to El Harley on the right half-back flank. He's got a runner. It's Clark. Clark gathers. Handball into the path of McGrath, who's tried hard all night, but he's kicked this time. Smothered by Noble. He butters up again, does McGrath. Has a crack at it. He and Noble tangle the ball over the boundary line. Get a throw in just forward to centre wing for the Bombers on the outer side of the ground. They're trailing by 92 points.
Got a thought? We'd love to hear from you. 0437 774 774. The first week of the finals is all but locked in. Suns earning a trip west to take on the Dockers. Giants to take on the Hawks, and Doggies fans tuned out after quarter time when it was 7-1 to the Suns. Essendon unable to do it for the Dogs tonight. Langford at half back. Hand passes to the centre of the field for Merritt. Gives back to Langford. Hands it defensively to Clark. Back to Merritt. Now the kick from just forward of the bullseye. Whistle before the ball arrives.
Downfield.
What did you see, Jeff?
Downfield. Miller just late on Merritt. So they called it downfield.
And young McMahon will get the kick. He's done his bit since coming in the mid-season draft. Game 7, 11 goals. Carlton VFL recently after being on the Collingwood list without playing an AFL game. 23 years of age. He's got a lot of football ahead of him. He's a bit of a dead-eye too. 11 goals too. Not much angle to speak of here. Man on the march, 30 out, directly in front. McMahon with his right boot. Nice easy power with the kick too. Kicks the goal. Essendon's 6th. McMahon's first of the night. Margin 86 at 19-15, 129 to 6-7-43. It's Wednesday night footy on ABC Sport. How you going down there, Zano? Almost home and away season done.
Well, I know one thing. I'm not a doctor because Mason Redmond's about to come back on, and well done to him. Yeah, he's going back down, and he's been outstanding tonight. Seriously, they've been out enthused maybe. They really have been outclassed, but he has tried everything he can for the Dons, and he's heading back out there to try to minimise the damage in, the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Hey, Zano, I think there's a few envious around here on the coast. You get to be in those rooms. History finally made. We'll stay close because there's going to be quite the reaction in the Gold Coast Suns rooms when they go in and sing the song.
He had a selfie with the mascot, I saw. You know?
The clearance now with Noah Anderson doing it again. The handball gets the 1-2 back, has a bounce, runs to the paint of 50. He kicks it wide into the pocket off hands over the boundary line. A throw in beside the point post in the right forward pocket. We will get that throw in. It is the Suns by 86 points. This is now their highest score ever against Essendon, which was 121. It's now 129.
Come loaded with the stats, Michael, to help us get through a very one-sided affair. Boundary throw in. There's Redmond for you, Zano. Nice scoop up off the ground. Handed to Wright, handed to Dersma. Dersma to Clark. They're under pressure. Kick semi-smothered. Taken by Anderson. 30 out. He doesn't need more than that. Noah Anderson with another goal. That's 2 for, make it 3 for the skipper. 20 goals. 15. 135. To Essendon 6-7-43. That's a 92-point lead. They've been playing this song over and over. Freed from desire. See, the Suns fans are now freed from the desire of September because it's a reality for them.
Done and dusted.
I was trying to find a segue in that.
It's nice.
Keep singing it though, Q.
Well, I'm about to put you on the spot. What's their highest ever score?
Their highest ever score, I'll give it to you in one.
Pricey's onto it.
164.
There you go.
Oh, he beat me to it. Well played.
Is it?
Yep, 26-8-164 versus Geelong, round 11, 2024.
141's their highest this year, so one more goal and they'll equal that.
Well played, Matty.
I was looking for something.
You were good on him. No, that's a goal assist if I've ever.
We've got 9.5 minutes to go.
I know.
Yes. Yep.
We're back
disciplined, gentlemen.
Back into the middle, slapped forward by the Bombers. Kako forward of the contest, lowers the eyes, overcooks the kick to McMahon. It's going to go towards the boundary line. It'll be a throw in the left forward pocket.
Spiros texts, I'm a disappointed Dogs fan. We should have never had to rely on Essendon to make finals. Job should have been done on Sunday. Thanks, Spiros. 0437 774 774.
Just on Essendon, I love that they've given Kako a go in the centre.
Well, they've got to have
the midfield.
Well,
I like
he
that.
goes again. He gets the clearance backwards. It could be a free kick. No, the ball spills now inside forward 50 for the Bombers. Picked up by Noble. The handball to Davies. His extracting kick. Bit of a dumper was taken by Nguyen. He's 55 from goal at left half forward for Essendon. He flares around to the right of the mark and kicks it, looking for Peter Wright in the pack. He has four opponents. Four opponents belted that ball through. They did not want to concede Peter Wright taking a mark in the goal square. 135 plays 44, and we're back down to a 91-point margin. The Suns lead it.
Billy Ray says, guys, loving to play the Dockers in our first final. Obviously, he's a Suns fan. Big crowd of 58,000 people. Get to the rest of that in a moment. Turnover with a kick to the wing. Laverty's taken the mark for Essendon. Chance for the Bombers to go back into attack. With his right boot, kicks it to a pack in the pocket. Andrew's too big for anyone else there and knocks it out of play. So Billy Ray says, yep, 58,000 people, finals atmosphere, all the pressure on the Dockers.
Yep.
Hawks to play at the showground in front of 15,000 at most. No different atmosphere to any round mid-season, according to Billy Ray, which is a bit disrespectful to Giants fans. Hopefully they turn up a bit more.
No, there'll be a few there.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot.
But I get what he's saying. It's going to be a massive scene in a venue which is new and has hosted a grand final. Kako off the road. Sorry, Michael. He's kicked a goal. Kako has kicked a goal from that boundary throw-in at the back of the pack. His first of the day. And it's back under 90, 85 the margin at 135 to 50.
Yeah, a little bit of a sneak. There you go. There's the crowd for
16,768.
That's not bad for a school night.
But still, it shows why it was a monumental cock-up from the outset, from the AFL to just shift this problem to the end of the season and hope that it wouldn't mean anything.
Well,
Zane on the boundary.
Yeah, and in the future, Q, there'll be 50,000 Gold Coasters saying they were here to watch them make their first final.
That's a good point too. And again, I you know my thoughts and feelings about the AFL being the Australian football being the greatest game in the world. But the way the NRL did it and actually just said, hey, let's switch venues at the start when the
that was the Dolphins Souths game. Yeah,
I think they did it better. Anyway, we're here at Carrara. Wits, and well done to Kako, who actually handballed it now to Archie Roberts. This is disposal 26 for the young man. Had a good game. He kicks it forward, left half forward. Dersma tracks the ball over the boundary line in front of us, and there'll be a throw in.
I like that from Scotty. He's got Archie Roberts in the centre. He's got Kako in there. I like that. You know, obviously you're not. You know, your season's done, but experimenting with a few things. I like it.
Roberts has got the second best metres gained, and Noah Anderson's got 641. Roberts has got 567. The lowest score the Bombers have ever scored against the Gold Coast is 60.
And they're only on 50 at the moment as Rao wins the tap off the boundary. Hand pass to Noble. Noble got tackled energetically by Roberts, who decided to give him a bit of extras as well, let him know about it. Archie Roberts, well done. Earns the free kick for Essendon at left half forward. One of the rising star noms for the Bombers. Kicks it to full forward. Over the head of Wright. Out the back. Menzies does the roving and dribbles a goal from the top of the goal square. 2 in a row for Essendon. And Menzies has 3. Suns 2015-135. Bombers 8-8-56. 22 minutes into the final term. And just repeating, we had a text from Matty Culkin who asks, do you guys know the crowd figure? Yep, that's 16,768. 16,768 in to see it. 79 the lead to the Suns.
Just a lovely little run. The last couple of ones, they've really attacked not in the goal square, but the top of the goal square. Peter Wright's competed against 3 or 4 as he has most tonight, and a couple of beautiful little crumb goals. So good to see Essendon running out the game.
And I reckon the Suns of Noah Anderson, Collins, Tukula, and Matty Rowell just come to the bench.
The bench is, you're right, Anderson, Rowell, Miller, Collins.
Yep. Q in rack.
And I thought Dan Rioli would have been one of them in there.
He wouldn't be too far away, you'd imagine.
They want to give him maybe a little bit of...
Oh, there's 4, so you got to...
running.
Yeah. They'll play it out now.
Well, Davies monsters his way through the traffic, got the handball back to Witts. Witts flicked it out to the left to find Jeffrey. He runs up to 55, launches it towards King. It was Farah, in fact, who flew over the top, couldn't quite grab it. Bombers extract it now. It comes through the hands there of Merritt to Jackson Pryor. He goes a little wider to find Clark. Clark to the wing. It's spoiled. Well done to Blackiston, who got onto his left foot, and he hit Durham forward to centre wing out of side.
Shield keeps running in his last moments as a Bomber receives the hand pass and slots a pass to Menzies. Marks at 45 from goal. Here's a chance for a fourth here, Joe Menzies. Man on the mark's 45 metres from goal. Considering he'd only kicked 6 goals this season to this point. But 3 tonight for Menzies. Mind you, he's only up to his 10th game of the year. Another of the Bomber Brigade unable to stay sound for the duration, or even a large part thereof. Menzies with his right boot. He doesn't kick for goal. It's across the face, and Big Witz says, I'll just knuckle that through for a point. 78 the lead to Gold Coast. Suns will play Freo, Giants will play the Hawks. 135 plays 57.
Suns with the ball. John Noble in the goal square. They lead by 79 points. He flares it left to find McAndrew. Andrew now. That's a long kick towards the outer wing. Well done by Metz. He is really announcing himself at the moment. He flicked it into the corridor. Lual overran it. Merritt got involved, couldn't quite pick it up. Well done by Weller, who got it to Ainsworth. He handballed it over onto the logo on the outer side to find Flanders. Flanders has got a bit of space. He chips it inside 50, marked by Ethan Reid. Man standing the mark just inside the paint of 50.
Go back and have a shot. Go back and have a shot.
Everybody's just standing around, so there's no leads for him to have a go at. So the young man might as well have a ping. He's got 1 goal for this evening, Ethan Reid. Good for a goal a game this year. Game number 19, he scored 19 goals. 19. He launches this one, didn't quite go for goal, put it up in the goal square. King has a double grabber, Ben King. 15 metres out directly in front. And he'll go back and shoot for his 7th, a career best.
Yeah, it was just poor meaning there from Essendon. They needed to check him. They just gave him the option to run and jump. They needed to check him before the ball was kicked. They weren't able to do that.
Ben King with 68 goals for the season comes in. He's got 7. A career best for Ben King in this demolition of the Bombers. 21 goals, 15, 141. So Essendon's 8-9-57. Back to an 84-point margin here at Carrara.
What's that for the year? Pricey 69.
Yep.
Wow.
69 goals, 19.
I mean, that's an incredible year. But so you can get him to 70, Q?
Well, we've had games here. Not only I remember the Gary Ablett game where he needed votes against the Giants to get the Brownlow, which he did. Jezza, in his early days playing for the Giants, I don't think it was in that game. But Cameron needed goals to win a Coleman.
He did too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, those memories coming back of things that sort of roll out at the back end of a season when all the really important stuff's been sorted. The Suns have stepped up tonight. It was wobbly the last couple of weeks. But as expected, they've demolished the Bombers. Witts with the tap down, centre bounce time, but Kako does the roving. Hand passes to Roberts, who gives it on to Merritt. Merritt to kick out to the wing. Blackiston takes the mark. Plays on, 70 from goal. Left foot kicks a beautiful.
Yeah.
Durham did not break stride, taking a chest mark, 40 from goal. Lockie Blackiston. Beautiful kick.
There's a couple of guys you can see a future, can't you? They show some glimpses of winning the ball in the air, on the ground. And Blackiston's done some nice things down back, and that kicked then inside 50.
He's done well in the ruck too. He's jumped jumped up and got a bit of a leap on him.
Got another limerick as well before we get to the end of the game. Had one of those at half time. Here's Durham, 49 metres out, right foot drop punt, trying to kick his second goal. He's missed it to the right. It is a behind. 8-9-58 to 21-15-41. Rich from Ocean Grove. There once was a player called Noah. No question the boy was a goer. Running into attack, he could burst through a pack like a soldier armed with a flamethrower.
Oh, well done. That's very good.
Thank you, Rich from Ocean Grove.
I like how he run flamethrower with Noah. That's probably my highlight of that. As the ball's on the centre wing, commentary side, Farah, handball forward speculating. Rogers impeded, towed inside 50 for the Suns. Bombers are surrounded here, but they get the ball out. Well done by Nguyen, but he's tackled by Farah. Chased him down. Umpire says play on. The ball's in the hands of Weller to Jakey Rogers. Lowers the eyes. He went for the big fella in Witts. Spoiled. Witts gathered at ground level. Well done, big man. Gave it to Fiorini. Over to Rogers. Rogers scrapes a mongrel of a kick to Ainsworth, who dribbles one through for his second. And the Suns keep piling it on. It's back to 89 points, 22-15, 147 to 8-10-58. We've got about 2.5 minutes left of this game.
I think that's what they'll look at most, in my opinion, when they do a little bit of a debrief. Not too much, because they've got to go focus on Freo. But Noah Anderson's goal and then that goal, that causing that turnover inside their forward 50. That's what Dimmer loves. He loves that forward pressure, and that's two standouts in this last quarter. The game's done, they're in front, but to see that happen, that's a big tick in Dimmer's book.
And that's what they've got to have, because they're not going to get the 4-day marks inside 50 in one quarter, Whitey, in the finals. It's going to be effort and crumbing and contested and pressure and all that stuff. So outstanding. That's a high score for the year too, and 3 goals off. Might kick 3 goals the last 4 minutes to see if they can get the highest score ever.
Michael's exasperated with his scrapbook. We're getting to that point where you sort of don't leave enough space for these scores.
I've run out of range.
Yep.
You're right on the cutting edge there.
It's even rolling up the edge of your scrapbook. Reed's in the ruck for the Suns. Got the tap down. No real rover to pick it up. But now eventually Rogers comes clear for the Suns. Kicks it to the edge of the centre square. Nguyen spoils from behind, but it's roved by Jeffrey. He hands it on to Butterick, 70 from goal. Butterick kicks it to the pocket. And Witts almost took the mark. Laverty underran the ball. Witts butters up, wins the ball near the boundary. Hands it to Davies, hands it back to Butterick. Hands it to Jeffrey. He's at right half back, 55 from goal. Bouncing around and tackled eventually by Lowell, holding the ball. Kept bouncing and bopping and eventually bit off too much. And Lowell wins the free kick for Essendon. 89 points the lead to the Suns.
He's where the arc meets the paint at left half back. He goes to the right to find Angus Clark. He goes even further to the right to the back pocket to find Jaden Laverty. Now he plays on. Kick to the outer wing. Dersma off his hands at the back. Menzie kick to a career high 3. Gets it back inboard now to McGrath. He puts it to Dersma by hand, then follows up, gets the 1-2 to El Hawley. Sells the dummy, then gets crunched. Absolutely crunched by Bodie Ulan. That's what Hardwick would be loving, is the intensity that's just gone through to the end of the game. He gets the free kick and pushes it out further left, looking for Joel Jeffrey.
And with that 4 superstars on the bench at the moment, watching this unfold in the last 8 minutes, this has been really, really high intensity from the Suns, and Dimmer would be loving the intensity.
He would, as Ulan puts it back inside defensive 50. Will Powell puts it out to the outer wing. Flanders, and he chisels a pass to the lead of Ben Long, who's had an absolute cracker as well tonight.
Ben Long, the 5 Suns nominated for the All-Australian team. We'll find that out tomorrow night. Long kicks high into attacking 50, and Witts takes a mark. What a moment for the big fella. He'll kick after the siren. This is poetic for Jared Witts and the Gold Coast Suns. It's a landmark night for football on the Gold Coast, and Jared Witts will get the last say. After 15 seasons, finally Gold Coast are September Suns. Can Jared Witts put the icing on the cake? The big ruckman with the last kick of an historic night from 45 metres out. The left foot is a goal! What a way to send the Suns to September for the first time! And they're jumping all over the big fella. Well may they joyously smash through the glass ceiling. Finals beckons, Freo beckon, the Suns win by 95. Was set up in the first quarter. 7 goals to 1. Suns by 40 at the first change. Second term was competitive. Gold Coast led by 42 at half-time. Then 69 at three-quarter time. 95 in the end. The Bombers' fourth 90-plus loss of the season. But it's all about the Suns tonight. Oh, the heartache of fans that have hoped for 15 seasons and now can set their sights on playing the big boy stuff at the end of the season. Gold Coast finals bound.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red, gold and blue. We are the mighty Gold Coast Suns. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, fight, fight till we hold on the knob. Run, run, run all the way. Hey.
There are fireworks going off up the top of the big screen at the northern end. TV host broadcasters captured images of Suns fans in tears. Has it really been 15 years since this mob made their debut against the Blues at the Gabba back in 2011? Oh yeah, it has been. They've been up, down and roundabout, but in the majority they have been a great disappointment. But now second year under Damien Hardwick, the man who brought respect back to Tigerland, is bringing respect to footy on the Gold Coast. How about it, Matt Primus and Jeff White? Isn't that the old, I say it but I don't believe it? The Suns, the Gold Coast Suns, will play finals.
September footy.
It's great to see, and
it's awesome.
And been built really well the last couple of years. And, yep, a couple of hiccups, and you can feel the anxiety or apprehension all week, couldn't you, up here? But they did what they're a good team, and they did what good teams do. They come out and beat the teams that they should, and I love the setting the tone early, and I love the celebration after Witter's goal. We'll see if that gets him into Whitey's top 3 with his votes later on. But I love the celebration for about a minute after it, and then it was, right, let's get business. Rightio, we've got something better to do, something to look forward to, because their best footy is capable of beating any team going around. And but a great relief for the whole organisation, you know, for everybody who's been there the last couple of years. It's fantastic and great for Queensland footy to Queensland teams playing finals.
You missed opportunity there, Matty. A ruck has kicked them into the finals. That's what I'm excited about.
That's the headline,
Whitey. That's the headline. We'll stick with that. Not that they won by 95 points.
Plenty of bylines as well. That's the highest score they've ever had against the Bombers. The highest number of goals ever kicked by an individual against the Bombers is 7 for Ben King. That is the lowest score the Bombers have ever had against the Gold Coast Suns. It was 60, tonight 58. Absolutely amazing, and that is now the biggest winning margin that the Gold Coast have ever had in the AFL. 95 points. That beats the 86 points against Hawthorn back in 2017. So they've cracked a whole bunch of records tonight. I'm just excited for the organisation. That's a magnificent effort.
And you can see why he ran out of paper there.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to get through. We'd love to hear from you as well. Stay around, because Zane Bojack will be in the Suns room shortly. 0437 774 774 is the number to get in touch. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0437 774 774. 7 goals for Ben King. He finishes the season with 69 goals, second behind Jeremy Cameron in the Coleman race.
Now, sorry, Q, that was his 253rd goal, which puts him 1 goal behind Tom Lynch as the all-time greatest goal scorer for the Gold Coast Suns.
So Suns fans will be hoping he breaks that in the West in 2 weekends' time. Anderson, 3 goals. 2 goals to Ainsworth, 2 goals to Rowell, single goals for Davies, Fiorini, Rioli, Humphrey, Reid, Long, Powell, Witts and Farah. While for the Bombers, Jai Menzies kicked 3 of their 8. Singles for Langford, Kako, Durham, Dersma and McMahon. 23-15, 153 to 8-10, 58. GWS, 5th. Fremantle, 6th. Gold Coast, 7th. Hawthorn, 8th. Western Bulldogs, 9th and missed the finals. So, best percentage for a team in the VFL, AFL, never to make the finals. Surprisingly enough, the Dogs, 137, is not the greatest. Geelong in 1932, when there was only a top 4, they had a percentage of 139. The Swans in the first season, back in 1897, 139. Essendon in 1963, 137. So they were all top 4. So in the top 8 era, the Bulldogs, 136.97, is the highest percentage not to make finals.
What was the... I'm going on against you, Pricey, here, but 15 wins for the Suns. Where would they have finished last year?
4.
Were they top 4?
They'd have to be close to being in the top 4.
Top 4 last year.
It's amazing that you just scrape into the finals more or less with 15 wins.
And
incredible, isn't it?
It's quite interesting that a lot of the footy experts were calling that, a long time ago. Going back 2 months ago, saying,
would have had your 3rd, Whitey, on percentage.
3rd.
Wow. Matt Primus coming to the 4.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about Price. He's run out of paper. And ink. He's run out of a lot of things over there.
Well, among the euphoria, we've seen Dylan Shield leave the ground for the last time as a Bomber. Todd Goldstein injured tonight. He was concussed and couldn't complete the game. We're not sure of his future. Matt Guelphy was subbed out as well, having copped what we think was a poke in the eye.
And Durham was hobbling and courageous to play. Redmond rolled his ankle not once but twice, still kept on going.
Yep.
I feel for Merritt. When the final siren went there, he had his head held high. He went and shook all the hands of the Gold Coast Suns players. What a fantastic player he's been. But to think that he still hasn't played finals yet.
Yeah.
And, holds his head up high. Full credit to him.
Well, he made his average 28 possessions. That's his season so far. So I think he's had a magnificent game.
But can you imagine how he's feeling though?
Yeah, I mean,
Billy Ray's a 14-year member. He says, "Guys, I'm so proud of this team. Finally, 15 wins in a season. Used to take 4 to 5 seasons to get that many." Yep, that's about right, Billy Ray. 0437 774 774. The Suns are still just hugging each other at the top of the race. They haven't gone downstairs as yet. Zane Bojack will be with them. It'll be quite the post-game to hear as well. Both of those games, by the way, are Saturday of next weekend, the 2 elimination finals. So it's Adelaide v Collingwood Thursday, Geelong versus Brisbane Friday. And then Saturday, we will keep an eye on any information from the AFL as to time slots.
I think they posted it, but I missed it.
Okay.
Well, I might have to go on.
I'm keeping an eye on nothing official.
Nothing official, okay.
Now, Matt, Noah Anderson is applauding the fans. He leads them down the race. Zane, can you believe it? 15 years in the making, and Gold Coast returns to the rooms as a finals football club.
And I tell you what, there's lots of people at the dressing room queue. They've all got their cameras out for this historic moment. There's almost as many in the dressing room as there was out on the stadium. Noah Anderson claps the reserve side here for the Suns. They come and they form themselves a big circle. They're very, very proud of themselves. Jared Witts Look at him. He's got the pythons up. He's very, very excited. There's a lot of cheering. I just spoke before, saw Dimmer walk past. He's a very happy man, can I tell you that? Damien Hardwick has achieved in his second season here as a coach. Here we go. After 326 matches, they're in the finals, the Suns. They sang it with gusto. Everyone here is so happy. Very shortly we're going to catch up with Matty Rowell, a contender for the Brownlow, but even more importantly about to play his first ever finals match, Quentin Hull.
And I can tell you exactly when that final is. The fixture for Saturday, the 6th of September, and the 2 elimination finals has been just confirmed from the AFL. Greater Western Sydney will host Hawthorn in the afternoon time slot, 3:15 Sydney time. So Saturday afternoon, 3:15 at the Showground. Greater Western Sydney take on Hawthorn. While then it's 5:35 local time in the west, 7:35 out east for Fremantle taking on the Gold Coast Suns at Perth Stadium. So repeating, Saturday afternoon, 3:15 for the Giants versus Hawthorn. That's local time. And then 5:35 local time in the west. Hence, Saturday night out on the east for the Dockers taking on the Suns. You can tell Matty Rowell when he's going to play his first finals game, Zeno.
Yeah, look, I'm sure you're looking forward to getting across to Perth to play against the Freo Dockers in front of 58,000 people, Matty Rowell. But 107 matches, finally you get the opportunity to play a final. 2 goals tonight. Is it relief? Is it what's to say, excitement? What is it? How are you feeling?
So excited to be going to our first final series. Great feeling of satisfaction to get here after, a few disappointing years not getting there. So, we set out this year to get to the finals, and, now I guess our second part of the season starts. So, but just so excited to be a part of it.
One of the interesting things was about 10 minutes out from time, yourself, Tuke Miller, Noah Anderson, and of course, all your stars, they all came off. What was that like coming off there and just getting yourself out? Bailey Humphrey got subbed out early as well, so you're all primed and ready to go for Perth.
Yeah, it was a nice feeling being able to get the job done and be up by a bit, so just really enjoyed the moment, soak it in. We had a great atmosphere out there tonight. The fans got there on a Wednesday night, and it was just a really nice feeling just to soak it all in. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw it up to a couple of people who are very excited in Matty Primus and also Jeff White alongside Quentin Hull and also Michael Price.
Matty Rowell, Jeff White, well played tonight, mate. Big ruckman kick you into the finals. How was that? Geez, Witz, he's been just a soldier, and geez, that was a great celebration.
Oh yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of Witter as a ruckman and as first and foremost as a person. I think he gets pretty underrated, the way he goes about it in the competition. Each week he gives us great service mids, and he's just a great person to be around and a good person at the footy club. So, I couldn't speak more highly of Witter.
And I love what you did in the first. You had 12 marks inside your forward 50 in the first quarter, and you continued that throughout the game. But it just showed that you just lowered your eyes, and that obviously played in the hands of big Benny King, kick 7 tonight. But geez, it was great to watch, and it was obviously something that you guys had sort of changed, in only a short space of time from your Friday night game.
Yeah, we've worked a lot all season on our forward connection a bit. Sometimes that's let us down, so I think we're really taking strides with that and knowing when to lower the eyes and when to go long to the contest. And I think it all really clicked tonight, and great for King to get on the scoreboard like that. He worked so hard, so that was great.
Hey Matty, what was the last couple of days, Dimmer's message to you guys? I know in general it would have been to get your game going, but was there a real onus on trying to go hard against Essendon, who are coming to the end of a disappointing season for them, and blow them out of the water early, or was it more big picture about your own game?
No, we had to focus on Essendon first, which I thought we did really well today. But we focused a lot on us going into this game and making sure we were playing to our strengths, and I thought we were able to do that tonight. We knew if we played to our strengths, we'd be all right tonight. So it was a lot on us throughout the week, and we knew we had to get this job done first. but I really was proud of the boys with the way we came out right from the start and put them under the pump.
Matt, it's Quentin Hull here. Congratulations. Just thinking along the journey, the carrot dangled to go home. Every other club in the comp would take you. But you decided to stick fat. So how does it feel now that you're going to be playing a breakthrough game with your mates here?
No, it's a very good feeling. I'm so glad that I've stayed. That main reason, one of the main reasons I stayed was because I thought this club and this footy team is on the right track, and I think that just shows with making our first final series this year, and I think it's only up for us, and I can't wait to see what we can do in this final series. So I'm really happy to be here and loving my footy.
It's a bit of a boring question, but how's your body feeling after the quick turnaround and a couple of flights as well? I was saying to Wayne Campbell before the game, you've got another couple of flights to Melbourne and back for the All-Australian Awards tomorrow, so good luck with that. And then you've got to go west. So physically, where are you at?
To be honest, physically feeling pretty good. When you got finals, you get really excited, and you fatigue, you kind of forget about it. So it's just a really excited feeling. They're long years, so you've got to make sure you reset after this, and kind of like I said before, the second season starts again now, so make sure the body's ready to go for come next weekend.
Who's around in the rooms? What are you seeing down there?
Everybody, every man and their dogs in here. Family members, coaches, boys from the VFL. It's a great buzz down here.
And to go west and play the Dockers, we had some suggesting that, well, you've probably got the best of the circumstances, even though it's a long trip. You'll be playing in a really big finals atmosphere. No disrespect to the Giants, but they can't fit as many there as, you'll be having 58,000 in that stadium when you play Saturday week.
Yeah, it's a great stadium to play footy at, great ground. It's going to be great to play in front of that. That's what, finals all about, the pressure, and we can't wait to get there.
Well, you change your preparation with that, just on that, Matty. In the past when you've gone to Perth, have you gone 2 days early, a day early? Will it change now that it's finals? Will you go even earlier?
I think usually 2 days for Perth with the longer trip.
Yeah, good.
We'll let you go and celebrate. Zeno, we'll see if you can get someone else down there. But, Matt, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Matt Rowell from the Gold Coast Suns with Zane Bojack down in the rooms. And, everyone's down there. And I think everyone's pretty happy to have a chat. So we'll stay close at hand to Zane. Gold Coast 95-point victors over Essendon. Final score, 23 goals, 15, 153 to the Bombers, 8-10, 58. And, another shout-out to Dogs fans who probably switch things off late in the first quarter, because that's where any sort of thoughts of a nervy night were blown out of the water. Gold Coast kicked 7-4 to 1 goal in the first quarter. So any hopes of a very unlikely Essendon victory seemed dashed at quarter time, and then it was just a matter of margin as to whether or not the Suns got to 7th. And, at half time it was 42, which was only just beyond the threshold to get to 7. But in the end, more than enough, the winning margin to get to 7.
Yeah, as we spoke about near the end of the game, I just love that they continued to put that heat on. And those forward turnovers, and Matty Primus is exactly spot on. That's, you're not going to get lace out 12 marks inside forward 50 when it's finals. It's chaos footy, as we know. The ball's going to be on the ground a lot, so you've got to be able to have some really good, balance, good synergy with your forwards to be able to put pressure on. And watching Freo over the weekend when they played the Bulldogs, the slingshot footy from the back half was outstanding. So the forwards are going to have, to have some really good exposure and really get that second and third efforts going.
Mate, Zeno, I don't think it's hard finding someone for a chat down there. Who have you got now?
I've got the very happy CEO of Gold Coast Suns, Mark Evans, and you've got Jeff White, Michael Price, Quentin Hull, and also we've got Matty Primus upstairs. But I want to start with you, mate. The smile on your face when I walk past at the end of the full-time siren, does it get to you, the fact that you've been through some tough times up here? You had to make some tough decisions on recruitment, on rosters, on sacking coaches, bringing coaches in, and the guy that you put all your trust in his second season has delivered.
He's not a bad coach, that fellow. That's Hardwick. I think we've discovered one there. But no, look, it's such a wonderful feeling. You know that it means so much to so many people who've done the hard yards in the foundations of the club. Then we had that turbulent period where our border security on keeping players was not great. So to go through the whole reset and a second build and to finally make the finals is just reward. But probably you'll get the sense talking to people, making the finals is only a part of what we want. We want premierships, whether that comes this year, next year, the year after. But it's about now how do we get as much experience into these guys to understand what it's like to play in a big final and to try and win one.
I know you've been big on culture at this club, but what has Damien brought to the club that has given you this opportunity to finally play in the playoff?
He's such a great person with a whole range of different people. He can play the tough guy. He's very direct about what he wants out of the game and the way that people have to conduct themselves. But he's also able to break the ice, laugh, understand mistakes. Like, he's got a lot of tools in his kit bag. He's very adept, and I learn something off him every day.
It was only a few years ago, I can't believe it, some chairman in the competition were talking about getting rid of the Suns and moving you down to Tasmania. Is this a chance to sort of stick it up on?
Well, we kept saying at the time, have a look at the growth in Queensland, look at the participation, look at the talent coming through, like this is ripe and this will work. The Lions have also, ignited that with their success over recent years, but they're not saying that about us now, but they were asking us to make sure that we had, built the club up to be able to contend, and so it's good to finally get at least one notch on the belt for that.
I know there'll be plenty of questions from the panel. I'll pass the microphone on to you, Mark.
Mark, it's Quentin Hull. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Quentin. A big day for the club.
And I think among all of the little stories, I'm just going to go back to the start of the season when the invites went out to show the rebranding, the relaunch of this footy club. For 14 years, it was seen as basically the AFL's expansion baby. You wanted to become a football club, so you changed your jumper, you changed your branding. There's something in that. It mightn't seem like much, but you could just sense well behind the scenes before this year, you wanted to stand up and be a footy club. And I think now, when you play September, you've got the right to say we are a footy club.
I think that's right. So branding is words and images, but the stuff behind it, the words that you say, you've got to be able to back up in action. And that's exactly what Dimmer has pushed to the players, and we've pushed to the club. It's about the action. And I think we've had a pretty good year. We deserve to be in the finals, and now we want to make the most of this opportunity.
Mark, I'm wondering, when you came up from Hawthorn, there's been, of course, the story of Greg Swan coming to Brisbane. You were very similar in that template as well. Can you explain the difference between the relationship you as a club had with Head House compared to the relationship you have, or the power that you have to stand on your own feet now?
It's certainly different. We're reliant on the AFL for so many things about growing the game and trying to get better coaching for kids and developing academy programs and all of those sorts of things. And then what we're really trying to do is get people wrapped up into the excitement of the Suns. So it starts, through academy programs and community programs. You're trying to then get them to games, and that's a little bit more difficult here than, say, in the heartland states. So we work very closely with the AFL to try and get those things going, but there's nothing like the feel of success or the ability to contend or push to finals to really ignite the community. The last 2 or 3 weeks here on the Gold Coast have just staggered me. How many people stop you in the street and say, good luck for, hope you win this, hope you do that, and long may that run.
And fair enough to say, unnamed members of staff over the years have said all the metrics have been building for the Suns over the years. We just haven't given them a men's footy team for them to turn up and follow. We haven't been good enough to turn up. Well, it seems like those times are changing.
Yeah, well, I think we set our season up pretty well this year to do that. We didn't have many games on the Gold Coast, so we were actually worried that good early season form you might dissipate in the middle of the year, and you might not have that chance to have the community wrap themselves around us. But it's progressed through the year. We've had some ups and downs. We've still got a lot of growth left in us, I think, and but it's nice to get to this juncture.
Who would have thought Gold Coast is playing finals? Mark? We say it, but yeah, we believe it. It's been a while coming, though. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Evans, the Chief Executive Officer, and just a little bit of that history as well, which is well known in this part of the world. When the Lions were in trouble, Head House ensured that they got the likes of Greg Swan to set things up off the field because the club was in trouble, and we now see the powerhouse that the Premiers are. And similar here, the Suns came here and were given all the players, but were given no facilities. You were a part of it early on, Matt. and Jeff. It's amazing to see, how things have changed things since then. A footy club's not just talented players, so much more.
Yeah, and the flow-on effect. Like I like what Wayne Campbell said at the start of the show is that, when the Noah Andersons and the Ben Kings and the likes re-signed 3 or 4 years ago, it was almost like a stake in the ground. Hey, we're going to make this work now. We've got to, and then it's just a flow-on effect. And then you have Matt Rowell re-sign this year, which was huge, and such elation when that was announced. So yeah, it's great to see, and there's former players I can see in there. Matt Shaw, who was the inaugural son, he was there.
One of the original list.
Yeah.
By the way, David Swallow spoke on Channel 7, said he'll train next week to give himself a chance to play. As
terrific. Well, if you
my bad line, the Kiwi In Excess cover, the original son.
Hey, if you want somebody that he's going to help you in finals football and play a certain way.
Out west as well. To think that, that's where he's from.
That's he's from, and hasn't he been and they've brought him on as a sub, and Damien Hardwick's been very firm and very consistent on that message. He's played outstanding as a sub. He's been one of the best subs this year. Can
I have the votes, please? Gold Coast by 95 points. Repeating, it's a day game for the Giants versus the Hawks at the Showground, 3:15.
Best red ball team in the comp.
Yeah, well, that's my little sort of line.
Yeah,
I think the Giants will be very happy. Do they still use red ball at 3:15? I don't think they do.
Oh,
they do at the 1 o'clock games.
Good question.
But yeah, it's sort of my throwaway line. I think the Giants are the best sunshine red ball footy team in the comp.
Based on?
Well, the way that I saw them flog Brisbane, the way I saw them flog the Suns when they played in the daytime.
Yep.
And the way they flogged Collingwood at the start of the year. It's a long time ago.
Yes.
They're the best social media team going around.
Absolutely.
So 3:15 local time for Giants Hawks at the Showground. 5:35 local time out west. 7:35 on the east coast for Fremantle versus Gold Coast. Of course, those other two games. 7:10 local, 7:40 east for Crows Collingwood on Thursday, and 7:40 east and local at the MCG for Cats v Lions. Who got the votes?
I just want a quick shout out to the backs, half backs. Joel Jeffrey, Will Powell, Rioli back. That was really, really outstanding. They played their brand of footy. But one vote to Ben King. 7 goals. Where's the 34? As I just slowly, slot that one in. 2 votes to Noah Anderson. Thought his breakout lines were really, really awesome. 34, kick 3. But 3 votes is going to Matty Rowell, and the reason for that is the 8 tackles, the pressure. I know he sat on the bench for the last 5 minutes, but he set it up in that first quarter. He was really outstanding. And that goal he kicked out of the centre bounce, that was the centre bounce goal of the year for the Suns. So there's my votes.
3 to Rowell, 2 to Anderson, 1 to King.
Yep.
Now, we've still got a month of footy to go, but I'm going to give 3 votes to the guy to my left. Michael Price has not missed a game this season. Now, you haven't missed a game for a long time, Pricey. There's a lot going on in this part of the world, but you've been the rock of the South East Queensland footy team yet again.
Thank you, mate.
In 2025. We're not quite sure how things will roll out over the next month. You might pop up here or there, but you're so appreciated. It's a heartfelt thanks to you for your professionalism, enthusiasm, and the way that you bring football to life, and you make it hell of a lot easier for me when I've got 1,000 things to do as well to know that the footy call's in safe hands.
Appreciate that.
When you're here. So, Michael, thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Matthew.
No, thank you. Yep.
Might catch you guys at some point as well. We'll wait and see how things
see how it unfolds.
Roll out. We've got 1 minute, and I'm going to ask you 4 winners. Week 1. Jeff, go.
The final. Freo, Hawthorn, Geelong, Collingwood.
Matt.
Exactly the same, but I'm saying Adelaide will knock off the Pies.
Okay.
All right, Adelaide can... I think
I'm going to go Adelaide, Geelong, Greater Western Sydney, Fremantle. What do you reckon, Pricey?
No, I'm basically with Jeff.
Collingwood travel so well. I know that they lost just recently. They're so good in Adelaide.
Carlton supporter tipping the Pies.
I'd rather tip the Pies than Essendon.
What an excellent note to finish. Robert Apolloni, as ever, on the faders here, and our entire team across South East Queensland. Zane Bojak downstairs, and to Adam Jones in the studio. Thank you. Of course, we've got the regular gamut of shows over the weekend and AFLW as well. An historic night on the Gold Coast as the Suns make September.